Sure, my bit rate's good. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the morning of June 25th. Welcome to Meticulous Talks. We're here. We're dialed in. We're ready to go for the OCR.
Hello.
I am Chris Courts as always, and I'm joined by Solving.
Hello.
And it's been a good 2 weeks now that we've had the Defenders of Equestria metagame going. And I know I've been busy as a beaver, tinkering and thinking and building new decks. How about you, Solving?
Well, I've been mainly just sort of thinking limited because late pre-releases and stuff. But I have now officially hit the point where I am over to thinking about Constructed. And as I pulled a Thorax, that's pretty much just my next deck project.
Yeah.
Sort of handed to me.
Seems like it, right? I mean, he's an awesome main. What can you say?
Yeah. To be fair, every time there's a new Ultra main, if you pull it, even if it's bad, I'm always kind of like, I kind of want to see what it can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to be going through these cards pretty quick because we don't want to be here all day, or in Solving's case, all night.
Woo, time zones.
Yeah, and so if you see that little timer over there on the right side of your screen, that's what that's for. I'm just going to be making sure we don't spend too much time on each card. Besides that, I also have our little rating system over there on the left-hand side. Just as a quick review, we give a card a 1. That means that it's not going to see play at all. I see Bugle there in the chat. I mean, you know, we might take 5 hours, depending on if we get into an argument about cards here. But let's see.
I'm sorry that I want to eat, I guess. Sweet, like important human things.
Yeah. But anyway, yes. 1 would mean that the card doesn't see play at all. There's a whole bunch of examples. I think we all know which cards get 1s. 2 would say that the card has some potential, but it's probably not good enough. I think the best example that I can think of would actually be a card like Destiny Drain's a great example. You don't run it unless it's a combo meta. Yeah.
Destiny Drain is such a specific card.
Mm-hmm. 3 would mean that the card it's worth experimenting in. It's people will probably try it out and probably realize it's not quite good enough to go into top tier decks. Let's see. Well, that's a good example of that. Well, yeah. And 4 is your classic staples, your cover to cover, your I'm drawing a blank because I only play purple here.
Applejack.
Yes, classic, right. Cards that are all the top tier decks use these cards. And then 5, of course, is the amazing, incredible Thunderlane Nightglider RTO. The card that just...
Why would you print this?
Yes.
Type cards.
The cards that everyone is going to be complaining about for the whole set, except for the people who have them. And even the people who have them might be complaining about them, honestly.
Why haven't they banned it yet, pointing at the card they're currently running?
Mm-hmm. So, as I say, we're trying to get through this in a reasonable amount of time, so let's go, shall we?
Yes.
So, I'm going to get that going. Starting off with our mains, Rainbow Dash, Wonderbolt.
Yes.
It's a pretty fine
so
go ahead, take it away.
The turning over conditions, same for all of them, so get that out of the way. Mm-hmm. Very simple, but can be stopped, and if it does get stopped, it's very, 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 very annoying. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. That's pretty much the way of all of them. As for Dash itself, +2 power is kind of nice, but if you want to run aggro, I think there are better blue mains to try. And if you want to run control, I think there are better colors to use. So...
I don't know. It's a good card for those old Frighteny control decks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because Nightmare Moons, on confront pay 2 is kind of inefficient and not something you really want to run. This, on the other hand, lets you have a troublemaker, and then you're always getting +2. And then if they draw with it, it's harder to beat you in the draw because you've obviously just got +2 to all your flips.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like a card that might revive the old Frightened control decks. So a rating of like 3, maybe.
3, you say, yeah?
Yeah.
Personally, I gave a try towards blue control, and I don't think it's going to happen, so I'm going to give it a 1.
Fair enough.
Moving on. Oops. Applejack. Covered our dark side, same as for all of them, so
yeah,
let's go straight on to the boosted side.
Let's get it boosted.
Yeah. Take it away, Solving.
This was an absolute nightmare to play against in Limited. Unfortunately, lots of stuff's just better than it in Constructed.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice ability. It's kind of like a main that's carbo loaded, and it's not bad. Like, it still feels like it feels like a good card, but we've just got better.
Yeah,
is the unfortunate thing.
Yeah, I can certainly see its application in like orange and purple orange wants to go this way in this set, but I think that deck has another main which we're going to be getting to soon, and
yeah, exactly.
So
it's an unfortunate case of good card, bad metagame for it.
Mm-hmm. Which I think that qualifies it for a 2 in my book.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say 2.5 just because I really like it. But there isn't a 0.5 system, so whatever.
Yeah. Radio. So I bugle there in the chat. I realized that we said it has limited potential, which means you can read that. You can read that in a variety of ways if you like.
The numbers are specifically from Constructed, as far as I know. I'm not wrong, am I?
No, that's precisely correct. Okay. Thank you, Pi. I'm not sure if we'll spend a minute 15 on this one.
So it's the easiest main to flip in EO that's pink.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's its upside. 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Very, very niche things is the fact that we've got a lot of when you retire friend effects, and this obviously just gives you friends during face-offs to then retire to those effects.
It's true. Now that we see belly flop in the game, it's like, oh, okay, kind of, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's not like there are not other things to do that are actually that are even better, right? Like taking control of one of your opponent's friends and then throwing that in. And Pink's got a lot of that.
Oh, hey, look, that's a common.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
So, I think this is one of the easier ones to give out in this set.
Yeah, no. No one ran it in a pre-release. It's not even like, just so I can play some pink cards. No.
Mm-hmm.
No. Just no.
Alrighty. Twilight. Already saw that start side. The boosted stuff.
Yeah, okay, this card's just yummy.
Yeah. This is the card that I was alluding to when I talked about Applejack earlier. I think this is a card I wanna throw into a control deck quite nicely.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, insanely linear, but that's okay because it's good.
Mm-hmm. So for me, I think this is a pretty solid 4.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it could be a defining card, so I'd say 4.5 because I just need to see more time with this card.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, if DJ Pwn 3 gets banned, then yeah, probably 5.
Yeah, I guess that's right. I mean, there's always DJ to compete with. But we'll see. Okay. Priority. Once again, let's get that start side. Another main that's trying to do the control thing. White's the color I'm not entirely sure on how it's going to go. Personally, I mean,
this card, having played with it in the pre-release, I really, really like it.
Mm-hmm.
like it's just such an annoying ability that it's just like, cool, you start face off, that's not involved, and there's like, okay. And then when you obviously have things to support that, so you can also be like, cool, that's not doing anything, and that's not doing anything. It's like, cool, I have to put 80 things there, and then you just like, I don't know, play the new Chrissy to it, send it all home, and go, cool, now you restart.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it could just, it's just really annoying.
Yeah.
Sort of having this just statically be around. Does she have to be at the problem? I don't think she does.
No, there's no location.
No, just when your opponent starts face up. So it's like, it's just like, it's just really pestery and annoying, and it'll just bug you, and it will just sort of get out of control when, you can't deal with it properly, and your deck's built around just this.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a 4, just like Twilight, I'd say.
Personally, like I say, I'm not entirely sure on if white is the control color in this set. I'm going to give it a 3 myself.
Fair enough.
4 for you. For everyone at home, I am writing down Solving's ratings so that we'll put up a spreadsheet when the stream's done. You can review it all and complain about us if you like. Okay.
Don't worry, my opinion's terrible and always will be.
Yeah, I suppose we should put on that little disclaimer. This is all our opinions, and we are going like a mile a minute on these, so likely some mistakes might occur.
Yeah.
Okay, Fluttershy going past once again. So obviously Fluttershy is in competition with another yellow main this set,
yes.
Which could work out well for her, could not.
So the way I look at it is that this main can get underneath the other yellow main, but the other yellow main can just overpower so many other things, which is why it will generally be a bit better. This is a lot more sort of pinhead aggro sort of card because you don't have to move it, you just sort of confront. And with the new problem that was printed with 3 power, and you can just exhaust this and confront it, meaning you only have to focus on the second problem. Things like that, it feels like it's playable, but it's just like going to be able to not be able to beat certain decks, which as the other one is just easily going to be able to just deal with.
Yeah, I think that's probably the fairest thing to say. It's clear what this main's trying to do. I think it actually does it pretty well, but it's just not quite on the same level as Thorax. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much.
It's not got the rigidity as it's not got as much rigidity as Thorax does, which is the issue.
Yeah. So I think that's like pretty much a 3 solidly for me.
3, yeah.
3. All right, takes us to the end of the normal mains. We're going to be doing this set in complete order by the cards. So
just card number.
Yeah. So we're going to be going on to Blue Friends now, and we won't get to Thorax till ultra ways down the line. Yeah. And with the mains done, I'm just going to take a quick look at the chat and see if there's anything to mention in there. Obviously, Ferry, you're right. I mean,
I hated playing against it in Sealed. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, yellow.
It just messes with all the math. It's just like, okay, so they can do this, 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 and this. Oh wait, no, they've just got 3 power, haven't they?
Yeah.
And it just like makes disruption so much harder.
Yellow has always been a really great limited color, and that's definitely not changing in this set.
No. Especially with stuff like Tough Love. Whoa.
Oh, yes. Can't wait. That card is... No, obviously, as I said it when we revealed it, thank God that card exists, but, you know. Rightio. Moving on to Blue Friends. Lyra. So I think this card goes into blue aggro decks pretty quickly. You can virtually guarantee it's that trigger is going to fire if you build your deck properly, and free moves are always great.
Yeah, I guess. For me, it feels weird because it feels like you want to play it. Because if you play it turn 1, you kind of move your main maybe, and if you play it late, why wouldn't you just play something that moves 2 friends? And then obviously have one of those things be higher than 2 power, is the way I look at it. So for me, it's kind of underwhelming because the only time I'd want to really play it is turn 1 and then move my main for free. And if it doesn't do that, you just play the vanilla 2 for 2, which is just not very good.
Yeah, it's true. Vanilla 2
in my eyes, honestly. So I'm not a huge fan of this one.
Really, yeah?
Yeah, I'd legit just give it a 1 because if it fluffs, it's bad. And late, you may as well play something else.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I think like there's a pretty. I think personally, there's a pretty low chance that it's not going to work, and in which case it's. Oh, all right. Apparently, there's. Well, anyway. So you have as a 1. I had it written down as a 4. So one of us is going to be right. One of us is going to be wrong here. We'll see.
So next card.
Next card. Moving on. My glider.
It's super basic too, because someone might like it.
Yeah. I actually personally have it down as a 1 myself. I think it's just a little bit.
2 was being generous, honestly.
Yeah.
Someone might like it, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Done. Next.
It's just a touch too bland for me, and there are better value cards out there on the slot on the requirement. Unfortunate that.
Yeah.
Okay. Soda Ash.
Kind of interesting, honestly. Now that I've thought about it, and sort of seen it in play, just because, like in Bluna likes dumping its hands because it likes playing friends. If this is a 1 for 3, wow.
Yeah, got that
like
right.
That's a real good play.
Yeah.
Other than that, not too noteworthy. Scootaloo usually keeps cards in hands, right? I don't know. I haven't played against it in so long.
Kinda, because eventually Scootaloo reaches a point where she doesn't care about playing cards anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not good there, but it feels like a Bluna-esque card, and where you're just sort of dumping cards.
Yeah.
And in that, when it's 3 power and you play it to move Bluna, it's just it's real nice. So for me, it's like a 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, for me, it's actually a 3 as well. I really see it like in these kind of aggro decks where you're going to be dumping your cards. It has a potential to be more efficient than Philly Rainbow Dash, which was already a card that shows up a lot in aggro decks. So, audio. Shining Armor. Didn't get a lot of fanfare, obviously, because it wasn't part of a spoiled set. Personally, kind of feeling like my glider to me. It just isn't quite exciting.
I mean, for requirement for Swift, yay? It's whatever. It was a nice limited card. The Chaotic is okay. 1 for Constructed.
1, indeed.
Like, there you go.
So the good news for us who are trying to have a quick stream is that the 1s are usually pretty easy to get through.
Yeah, they take a couple of seconds.
Alrighty, Scarce Air. One of the initial batch of revealed cards. Interesting piece of work, now that we've seen the whole set to go with it.
I still don't know, because we have Wildfire, and we have Holy Dash, and stuff like that, and it's just like, so this is a 3 for 3 1. The 4 requirement is what makes me go, because the power in Wildfire and stuff was playing them early.
Yep.
This guy, you still have to play a little late. Obviously, you can play at the turn, you double face off and send everything home. But it's just a bit weird to me. The fact it gains Swift is like, once again, Bluna, playing lots of cards. If you have this whole giving it Swift in mind, this card's going to be great. I'm just like,
Yeah,
because obviously in Blue, you've got all the movement events where everything kind of has Swift anyway. So it's just like,
yeah. Personally,
I want to give it 3, but I still don't actually have any confidence in that rating.
Personally, I find it very difficult to create to see where it fits into a deck, to see it not getting cut.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's a 2 for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just 3, but don't have confidence in it.
Sure. Our first super rare, Torch. Very interesting card. We've seen blue aggro cards up to now. Hey, here's a blue control card.
I was like, when I saw this on the whole OCR, I was like, why wasn't this in spoiler season? This would so get people hype. This card is crazy. And a real good reanimator target.
Got that right, yeah. It's like
I'm going to be mentioning that every now and again. Don't worry, because I pulled 3 of Orchard Blossom. You know, the reanimator.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
the
right.
reanimator there. That's kind of on my mind as a deck to try and build at some point.
All right.
He's kind of nuts, honestly. Just a 4/4 that frightens every turn. When I first read him, I thought it was your opponent frightens a friend, as in they get to choose. No, you choose.
Yep.
That's like the most brutal part of this card. You just go, end of my turn, cool, your best card's gone.
Mhm.
And they're like, oh, all right.
Now, obviously, yeah, it's great on its value. The question is a blue control deck going to work in this set? And
I feel like secondary blue color stuff might make it work, but I'm not sure.
no,
I'd give it a 3 because I feel like it needs testing.
yeah, I totally agree with that. It personally, I don't think the blue control deck's going to work, but the card itself is definitely great.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Mentioned Wildfire a couple cards ago. Different Wildfire, obviously.
Oh yeah, not this one. Was not referencing this. Art style is really jarring. It's okay. I don't think it'll get played over cards like this that we already have, like the Daring Do. That when you play it, you fight it with all your friends there, so it's easier to set up than specific 5 face-off. So for me, it's kind of just 1 because there's much better cards out there than this.
Yeah,
it's kind of cute though.
Yeah, we saw this is actually similarly. It's kind of like Ultra Rare Celestia from Camelot Knights. This card goes in, gets +2 power, challenges a troublemaker, and that definitely never saw me play, or at least I don't think it did. Well, except for me, but yeah.
Because it's Celestia, maybe?
Yeah, kind of. So, yeah, I think I'm pretty safe giving this a 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that takes us to the end of blue. On to orange. Applejack.
I really like its design. As a 3 for 3, it's okay. A terrifying story with this. So, someone I know, like 2 people I know, are playing. Both players are playing this Applejack. Player 1 plays this, has 3 copies of this in deck. Plays this, trigger, they mill an apple, mill this. Then the opponent plays it, and that player who has 3 mills it again.
Ooh, interesting.
So an investment of 3, they got a 5-power friend, and it was just like. Other than that, there's a lot better orange experience cards literally in this set. So 1.
I think it's just not enough value for the cost. Well, once again, pretty bland. Got to be a 1 as well.
If I had Hasty, on the other hand, that mill effect would be relevant.
Yeah, well, Hasty. Hasty. We are going to see that at some point. I think Hasty Inexperienced is like a ridiculous combo.
Yeah.
But anyway, Appaloosa Buckball team. So I want to get this started.
I love this card.
Yes,
I love this card. It is so good.
Ridiculous value. And
so I'm going to just summarize the card. In Epics, this flips for 6 because if your main's not involved in the face-off, I'll be quite confused. And if you play it, it makes every flip you do 3 extra because it can stay at home and never get frightened. There we go. That's why it's playable.
Yeah. Personally, I think well, there's a white-orange deck that's kind of been simmering just below the surface for a little while now. That runs, they call it White Elves, running Derpy and White and such. Personally, I think this set is going to push White Elves into the mainstream. I think it's going to be good, and this card is one of the reasons why. It's not, I think, the primary reason why, but it's one of them. And for that reason, I'm going to give this a 4.
I give it a 4 because I can just see it as an auto-include in Epics that's orange with AJ because it flips for 6 and then it has relevancy when you play it. Can't really complain.
Totally. Okay, Big Mac. Talked about this card a really long time ago, and my opinion of it hasn't really improved since then.
Yeah, no. Basically, if I had 1 orange requirement or none, I'd have much greater favor for it because you could play it turn 1 and then play Troublemakers, which would be like, that's kind of cute, and now I've got big things, and I can control you. But with the 2 requirement, you have to play something else first in most cases, which is just bad. Next. 1.
Yep. 1.
It was neat and limited, though, because there's so many Troublemakers. There we go.
Okay. Point well made there. But yeah, I don't see it going in a deck right now. So definitely that one.
Next.
Next card. Big Mac and Applejack. Another super rare. Another pretty
Super interesting
set
card.
of text. Yeah.
Because it's like you can play it and it can turn into 3 power counters at worst, and then it's got all this design where it's got experience, so you can choose whether or not you want to do certain things, and it's super cool. And it has loads of text, and I still don't know what to think about it in constructed.
I see. Yeah,
the fact it's got only 2 requirement is what makes me think it's good. Because if it had any more, I'd be like, oh, but it's so awkward to play.
Yeah, it's definitely got a lot of value. I'm still unsure on where exactly I'm going to want to put it. I don't think it fits into the orange aggro deck I was talking about for Appaloosa Buckball team, which means I don't really think there's a deck for it right now.
I don't know. I might put it in my weird Spike and his resources thing that likes using discard.
Yeah,
so it's a weird deck.
Yeah, like
fun but weird.
If there was like a thing that I can say, oh yeah, I would just put this card in this, then I'd give it a 3. But unfortunately, I think I have to give it a 2.
I'd say 3 just because I can see it getting tested. Just because testing.
Yeah.
Or 2.5. It's 2.5 will get tested full stop.
For sure. Yeah, that's for sure.
So yeah, 2.5 will get tested. Whatevs.
Alrighty, double diamond. I think this is
I'm going to test the heck out of this card.
Oh, you think
I love it. It's so cool. I'm going to test the heck out of it just because it seems really fun. Because if you like bail out this card and stuff and just be like, oh, my main's bigger. It's just like kind of fun. I'm not going to say it's really playable, but I'm definitely going to be playing around with it because I look at it and just sort of enjoy its design.
Yeah. Personally, I see... I kind of reminded of the Applejack we saw just a few cards ago, honestly. I mean, it's probably a little bit better, but I don't know.
I just like it because of its main gets +1 while it's in discard text.
Yeah, and actually Bugle...
And that's kind of it.
Bugle makes a very good point about Fluttershy in the chat. Yeah, when Fluttershy can do 4 to a problem, it's pretty good. So.
Yeah, it seems like giving mains that extra power, like just to be 4 or 5, would be pretty incredible in some decks.
Yeah, and I can imagine like
in Bluna maybe if you can discard cards. Oh man, my Bluna's got 4 or 5 power now. Like he just seems nice as a buff to those decks that never really increase their mains power, and which is why I like it. And I'd say 3. Even though I don't think it'll be amazing, I still think it's 3.
I'm personally going to give him a 2.
Yeah, fair enough.
Radio. For the guys.
It was okay in limited. It's bad here next.
Yeah. Just like we've seen it pretty much since Odysseys. I think just straight diligent isn't really enough to give a card value, especially when it's overcosted like this. So yeah. What?
Next.
That was good. We covered that in like 10 seconds. Golden Harvest.
Like it's really weird. I'm not sure what to think about it. I don't know what deck it has, but it's not bad. But I don't know what deck it has.
Yeah, I mean it's Apple Bloom from last set. It's the Apple Bloom main.
It's kind of like a conditional version of that main on a friend, and it's okay, but like that main never came to fruition, so maybe this card will help it do that. I'm not sure. Is it like an orange? I don't quite get it. Is it an orange aggro card where you're like, I'm going to aggro and then I'll exhaust all your stuff and win the double face-off and rah?
Well, that is... I mean, I think that's the only thing I can really see for it is...
Yeah, and I'm like, that's not a deck though, so 1.
Yeah, not really. So, yeah, I'm going to have to give this one 1 as well. Okay. Getting off our trail of pessimism in a somewhat ironic way.
So I did a top 5 cards in the set video. This was first place because I just think this card is insane. If you get out 3 copies, your opponent kind of just needs to scoop because nothing has abilities anymore. You know all that relevant text? It's gone forever. Whenever you need it, it's gone. It's just, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think
I love it.
Yeah,
and it has stubborn.
And it has stubborn. That's the thing, right? Even without that stubborn, it'd be an excellent card.
I would love if it had chaos. A friend has no ability. I'd just be like, lol.
Yeah, it's true that this has been done before. Bugle points out in the chat, and
yeah, but that cost action tokens, didn't do at specific times and things like that. This is so versatile and confronts problems just forever because 4 power is good.
Yeah. And
I love this card, and it's so easy to play with 2 requirement. I'm just like, it's so tasty. 5. I couldn't not give it 5 after putting it at my top 5 cards.
I personally, I'm not that optimistic about it. I'm giving it just a 4.
Fair enough.
I think it's in my nice control deck. I'm definitely gonna put it in like purple orange and stuff. But I don't think it's quite to the 5 level.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I just saw it and loved it.
Mod. Now I've already.
The only reason people care about this card is because it infinite combos.
I see you've had that game already too.
No, I haven't had a game of that. I just know about it because I saw it when I saw the card. Having a card that reads "You win all face-offs because you flip your deck" isn't bad.
Yeah.
So it's easily a good card. It's kind of fragile to removal, which is fine. Whatever. But if it didn't do that combo, I don't know what I'd think of this card because it is like 5 action tokens to play.
Yeah. See, that's the principal conundrum in giving this card a rating. Because it's like, well, is this combo going to get banned soon? Like,
probably.
Then the card isn't that great.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because I ignore combos when it comes to just, is this card good? Because if it combos, cool, it combos and it does whatever you want. Done.
Yeah.
On its own merits, it's okay. I'd probably give it only a 2, really. Like, it's a nice ability, but
yeah. I've got it down for a 3 here, just as a kind of a hedge, because obviously it's good now, but yeah.
I don't think it's going to be allowed to stick around. Or, the Big Mac won't. I don't know which they'd ban. I don't know. This is a new card, so it's not going to go anytime soon, I guess.
Well, Big Mac sees. Well, let's not turn this into a banning discussion. But Big Mac is fine in like orange farming decks. So, anyway, that's a topic for another time. Speaking of good in farming decks,
well, I still don't know what to think. Yeah. I played against him in Limited, and I wanted to die. But that's a fact. Other than that, I'm not sure.
I think this has a pretty straightforward place in a farming deck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah. So I mean,
like,
go ahead.
The fact it never flips higher than 3 is what makes me just like, it's weird.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Do you risk it? Is the value you get from it as much as enough to make you play it? I just don't know. As someone who's never played the deck, obviously, I just don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But personally, I see that value, and I think it's. I'm gonna say that I think it's enough, and I'm gonna give it a 4.
I say 3 because I'm just not sure.
Yeah, that's valid. Okay, Snails.
I really liked this card, honestly.
It's got good value, certainly.
Yeah, and so in the deck where I'm going to be testing the double diamond, this is now my entry because I discard the double diamond, and it just sort of escalates from there. It seems really cute, and I feel like it could be played in lots of random stuff that likes discarding to this effect, and then just playing a 2 for 4 because 2 for 4s are good, right? So yeah, obviously reanimatory decks, because the Orchard Blossom's gone, you want to play orange-white now. This gets things you want to reanimate out of your hand and into discard. So for me, it's a 3, just because it has all these weird little applications that I'll be using and I can see other people are using.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Personally, like I certainly agree. Like on paper, the card's great. I don't, prove me wrong on this, please, but I don't see the deck as being particularly great.
Oh yeah,
So I'm gonna give it a 2.
fair enough.
I heard 3 from you, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Takes us to the end of orange.
Woo.
Deep breath. That's the thing. Going like rapid fire through these cards might even be more tiring than going 5 hours.
And just being sort of chill.
Yeah. But anyway, pick friends. Confusion.
Let's play some Hearthstone.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah. So my friend, a friend of mine, is getting Flurry Hearts and that pink ultra rare that gets you a random friend from your opponent, and is building the deck that's actually random, not just the keyword. This card, I talked to quite in detail why I thought it actually has some application, because it kind of just disrupts a lot of things. And now with the rules update saying that if your opponent extreme sleddings, it hits both of them, is like, oh.
Yeah, that is a good point.
It's a real pestery thing that could just get in the way of a lot of things that your opponent wants to do. Not that I think it's going to be amazing. I just feel like it's going to be a fun niche card that when you lose to, you'll have a massive grin on your face because you're just like, gosh dang it.
Yeah. I think I tried building an Octavia deck a couple weeks ago that I think, and I thought, yeah, this card could actually go in there because Octavia just plays everything from hand. I don't ever want to move any of my stuff myself. I still think that the chance that it hurts you is still a chance that I don't really want to take.
Yeah.
So I'm giving it a 2 just because.
Mine's a 2.5 just because I feel like I'm gonna lose a game to it at some point.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Okay, Berry Punch on Swirl. Whenever I was making pink decks, I couldn't help but put this card in them.
I really like it. So Sonata exists, and a lot of people run that. This, it's a trade-off between this and Sonata because they both basically have the same text, except Sonata you get Eccentric 2 while it's there, but get rid of. You then get rid of it when you take control. But with this, you keep the friend forever, and I'm just kind of like, okay. With this, you get to say if you're using Belly Flop, you get to retire their friend, and then you get to retire this afterwards if you really want to. With Sonata, you get Eccentric 2 while it's around to help you sort of control people, but you have to retire it to do the effect. So I feel like this is sort of the aggro version of Sonata, and Sonata's the control version of this.
Yeah, I mean, this is...
When I've thought on it. And no, it doesn't take all of the friends, because that's a fake.
Yeah, like I said, this is like when I'm building a pink aggro deck, it's just like auto include basically, because that kind of value when you're trying to confront a problem is just nutty, really. And
I'm like, if you're running Cancelot Knight's Pinky, run both Sonata and this.
This card compares really, really well with the super rare white Zesty Gourmand because this card is a 1-for-1 itself and gives you the extra value right away, as opposed to needing to kind of make up for itself with whatever you take.
Yeah.
So I have this one as let me look at my list here. 4.
I have it as 4 just because of my meta game. I have a pink control friend that I know will probably be running this as well as the Sonata, and I'll just cry. All right, cool. Everything died again.
Okay, DJ. Oops, give me time to start. Yes. So
I still don't like it.
Really, yeah?
Yeah, I played it in the pre-release. I got it off once, and I was like, yeah, woo, got it off. Every other time I played a vanilla 3 for 3 and was like, all right, now they know what I'm drawing next. And that's actually kind of bad for me sometimes.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Especially when it's like, oh, hey, they saw the troublemaker I was going to draw. mm.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
I guess they know what that is now. And it was just kind of like I couldn't bluff the Chrissy I had in my deck or anything. And I was just like, okay. So yeah, because this card kind of feels like it wants to be a control card. Revealing and not getting the event is real feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, it felt so much worse than I thought.
Yeah. I think it's pretty clear that this wants to be a control deck card. That's like those are the only decks that are going to have enough events in them to be even remotely possible. But you're right. Even in those decks, you're looking at like there's still going to be friends in there, and probably a fair amount of troublemakers too.
Etc. You have to have other card types. Yeah. I'd say 1. I was going to say 2 before I played with it in limited, but in limited it was such a feel bad card that it's gone down to 1.
Really, I'm hopeful enough about it to give it a 2 myself.
Fair enough.
Alrighty, Gabby.
I love this card because I ran pink yellow aggro forever, and this card is just ridiculous when you go play everything, refill hand, play everything, refill hand, play everything, refill hand.
Yeah.
Did I win yet?
For a long time, I was actually kind of excited at the prospect of like somehow forcing my opponent to take control of this and then discarding their hand and playing a pile of presents. But unfortunately, it's a May trigger. So.
Yeah. Also, I find it cute that it's also pre-designed for if you have an effect that means whenever you draw a card, you would draw 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's already worded like that, which gets me excited to be like, oh my gosh, is pink going to get like a 6-cost resource that's like whenever you would draw a card, draw 2, and you want to cheat out into play with Octavia and just be like, yes, I win.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But yeah, on its own merits, I think this is,
Yeah, I mean, no, if like there are so many aggro decks that want to just play everything. And great, excellent. I draw back to 4, and now I'm ready to go again. I've seen her in use already, and yeah, she's good.
Yeah, I'm glad I have 2 already. I'd say 3.5.
4 for me.
Yeah, 3.5 to 4. Say 4. It's more convenient.
4, yes. Alrighty. Mare. Oops.
Fun story. This card made me draw my entire deck in a game during the pre-release.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, I got it out really early, and I was just like, I've got to keep drawing because I'm control, and all the removal makes you discard cards. So I had to keep drawing to keep just getting rid of things, and then I had no deck, and I lost because they could beat my troublemakers when they flip 0.
Interesting.
So it kept me alive, but it also lost me the game at the same time. So
yeah, personally,
other than that, it's good card advantage. Like, it's not bad. The fact it's immediate means I actually kind of like this card.
Yeah,
having a vinyl as a playable friend isn't bad.
I definitely see the value. I'm not sure on if I can find deck space for it. But like definitely the effect is good in there. So it's going to come down to a question of triage.
I'd give it a 2 just because I don't know where it fits, but I feel like if it does, it's going to be nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually the same as me. I think 2 is a pretty good space for it.
I'd love to say, oh man, you can now run a main other than vinyl and run this card, but it just gets removed, so whatever.
Yeah. Party favor. Kind of similar.
Weird.
Yeah, like I've seen some vague ideas and uses for it. Like obviously, pink. If we keep coming back to belly flop and cards like it, it appreciates little friends that more than big ones. But like this, like the question of finding a spot for this card is even harder than the last one, really.
You see, with cards like belly flop, there's an old party favor that's better than this.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's a sort of, what is it, a when it leaves play trigger or something?
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't have experience, but it's a 2 for 2 that when you belly flop it, you get 2 more Earth ponies to start belly flopping or whatever.
Yeah.
And this guy, you specifically have to retire him on your main phase. No, at the start of, what is it? The start of your turn, that's it, sorry. And it's just kind of like, ugh.
Yeah.
It feels a bit clunky.
Mm-hmm. I saw a wee bit of synergy for it in Octavia when you're trying to like beat a troublemaker or something, and then at the start of your turn you say, okay, Here comes
That-
6 power.
That is cute.
Yeah.
That is a cute interaction I didn't think of. Then again, like the interaction I've always had is the old party favor plus baton.
Yeah.
Retire into home limit. Bam! You get like 6 power at a problem. And they just go, okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to give this guy a 2 as well.
2. He might be played, but I don't know, 1.5.
Yeah. All right. Sure.
I wouldn't say he's totally unplayable, but yeah.
Radio Pinkie Pie.
I mean, it's good turn 1 when you play it and confront your 4 requirement problem.
Mm-hmm. I find that entry with benefits is usually pretty good.
On a serious note, if you were on Pink and Thorax, this is your entry because duh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's kind of all I've thought about it, is turn 1 play it, confront a problem with 4, neat. And if you're running Pink, Yellow Thorax, this is clearly your secondary color entry, because it's just a 2 for 4. And it still pumps Thorax because its printed power is 2. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, don't have much else to say. With those things in mind, because of how powerful I think Thorax is, I give it a 3.
Yeah, I think
if Thorax didn't exist, it'd be much lower.
I don't know. Like there's Thorax. There's also the kind of pink decks that want to run Gabby, for example, that are going to be like just throwing crap onto the board.
Yeah, but usually you play stuff that costs 1 with stuff like that.
I guess, but this is
it's my sort of.
No, this is a 4 for 2, right? Or 2 for 4, or however you want to say it. So yeah, but personally, I'm gonna give it a 3 myself.
Fair enough.
I think there's a place for it, but maybe. Sorry, you said a 2?
I said 3 as well, just because of Thorax.
3, right? Yeah, that's fair. Alrighty, Ravers.
I mean, Pink White Octi.
True.
Woo.
Yeah.
Other than that, a 4/3 is like and other Pink decks probably wouldn't get an insane amount of value out of it. It's cute with a baton, but
yeah. See, like
if Pink White Octi is a thing, people might run this, and it still might because it costs 4.
This is one of those cards where like the value I can see, right? Like, you know, if it's 6 in play for a turn, then it's basically like it's kind of giving me +2 power for every friend I play. It's kind of like being Octavia in a friend, kind of. But that's
just weird.
Yeah, cards that need to stick around to do stuff are always taking a hit in that on value for me. And that 4 cost is a really big investment.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a 1.
I give it 2 just because I'm like maybe. Maybe.
Sure. Okay, and our last pink friend, Sugar Bell.
Oh my gosh, I forgot this existed.
I know, it's been so long.
And I didn't see it in any pre-release. Okay, what's it do again? When an opponent confronts this card's problem, you may dismiss an opposing friend here. Oh yeah.
So for me, I think pretty much the argument's almost the same as the last card. Like 4 for 3.
Yeah.
And it yeah, sure, if it stays in play, you are gonna get some pretty impressive value, maybe.
Yeah.
But
they did 4 for 3 twice in this set. That's weird for rares. Yeah, I guess it's so similar to the Rave Ponies. I'll just give it a 2 again. Like if it can stick and do what you want it to, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But like paying 4 action tokens to have a kind of T-Rex Reign of Terror-esque effect, specifically when your opponent confronts, nah.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna play it, but someone might find a use for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2 as well, just because like dismissal is pretty good. It's worth noting.
Yeah.
Like I don't see it being a good enough value, but that is kind of undeniable that having a dismissal is sometimes good. So. Alrighty, moving on into purple. That we're 3 colors in. We're getting there.
Specifically friends, though. They're not the entire set.
Yeah, that's true. Alrighty, who's?
I still like him.
Yeah, I mean, so it's true that like the same argument we made kind of for DJ
With the horror Yeah,
applies here. Um,
yeah.
now,
But I still think he has a slight bit more chance of getting used. Not much, slight. Just because it's repeatable.
Yeah.
And as it's a main phase action where you it's exhausting to do it. Yeah. If you don't want to reveal information, you just don't.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Like, if you don't want to be like, oh, but if I flip, I want to do some bluffing or whatever. I don't want to reveal what I draw, so don't touch him.
Yeah.
Just leave him be. But with obviously the vinyl, like leaving it in hand and just having it be a dead card entirely is like, ugh. But at least with this, you can play it and be like, cool, I have 3 power from it at worst.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the kind of card
which is why it's much more in my favor than the DJ is.
Yeah, this is the kind of card that I look at and say, yeah, I could see myself trying this out in a control deck. I don't know if it's gonna stay, but
yeah, it's definitely a 2.5 of it will be tested. Don't know if it'll stick.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3 myself. I think it's like when it's a card that I see and like, okay, I'm gonna try it in that deck and it might work. 3 for me. Okay. Luna.
I mean, like, points are good, right?
Yeah. Point acceleration in purple, isn't that amazing? And yeah, I mean, I think this is one of those cards. I think this is one of the cards that enables purple farming to possibly exist.
And it's just like it's a real good purple control card as well.
And yeah, it's great in purple control too.
Because like, it's kind of like you don't have to splash white for photo finish anymore. Don't worry, just win face-offs, and your opponent goes, I can either risk losing this face-off and give them a point, or I can just not do anything this turn, and you're like, okay, cool, I'll solve this and get a point. Yours. Because if it just buys you a turn anyway, it's kind of photo finished in the first place.
Pretty much, yeah. So yeah, I have this down as a 4. Honestly, I think.
Yeah, for me it's a 4 too.
Yeah,
I think it has a lot of potential.
And obviously prepared is just great, icing on the cake, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Everyone kind
of
forgets about that, but
prepared means once your opponent has initiated one face-off, which she's behind, she is photo finished because she cost 3, and then it gets better.
Yeah.
Well, she is photo finished because if you lose that face-off, you're kind of like, crap.
Right. Okay. Let's try Sparkle. I kind of feel like I should set the timer for 20 seconds here because
it was queue and limited. It's an entry thing. Sometimes it might get used as purple entry, but I highly doubt it because I'm pretty sure there's better options. I don't know.
Yeah, 3 for 3 eccentric ones not enough. We had enough of that in pink in Equestrian Odysseys, I think, which didn't see play. So yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
1.
Someone might run it as entry if purple's their secondary color at most.
I think that there's better options.
Probably. I can't remember them all right now.
Yeah. Alrighty. Starlight.
I mean, like, this was back where you began at common. I hated that, and it made me want to die.
Really, yeah?
In limited, I absolutely despised it because it was common. So I was like, "Oh, good, they've played one, and they could actually have more copies." Whereas with something like Back Where You Began, it's like, "Oh man, it was rare. I don't care."
Right. Yeah.
Because one action token to move an opposing character is just yes.
Yeah,
that's cheaper than they're moving it back. So Frozen and Magicite, yeah, being done at specific times because Frozen and Magicite may as well read face off in many cases or before you solve. But the fact that they pay 2 to pseudo tax you 2 is fine. The fact that this costs 1 is the part that I was just like, at the whole time. Constructed, I could see people using it because, as I said, it's Back Where You Began, but it has a body and it can get bigger thanks to experience. Because obviously you're gonna retire these to home, aren't you?
Yep.
They did the thing when you played them, and then obviously like, if you get this to be a 1 for 3 and just be like, oh cool, I paid 1 action token for 3 at this problem. I'm like, that's neat.
Yeah,
I'd give it a 3.
I see the argument. It's not immediate. That's the only thing that kind of gets me. I feel like there are enough.
If it was immediate, why would they have ever printed frozen in Magicite?
Well, yeah. I feel like there are enough effects in purple already that accomplish this thing.
Yeah, but I feel like it's an efficient way of doing it.
Yeah, you're right about that, I guess. But I'm going to give it a 2 myself.
Fair enough.
You said 3, right?
Yeah.
All right. Sunset Shimmer. Another card that we might have forgotten existed, maybe.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. At least it's not got the original text.
Yeah.
Oh, that original text. Yeah, I still think it's a ridiculously solid card. Meticulous 2 is nice. That make them flip as low as possible. Trigger is great. I have no idea what decks want it. Probably like the purple Troublemaker control stuff that's going to appear thanks to Twilight, etc.
Yep.
So I'd say it's a solid 4.
Yeah.
Let's go for 4.
I've built a few purple control decks in this time, and yeah, this card is it goes in because Meticulous 2 is great. It's always amazing to both like decide to draw and know what you're going to flip for the Troublemaker face off. Isn't that just great?
Or you flip 4 because you put this on top.
Yeah, or know what you're going to flip because you're using this card. Even better. Yeah, so I think it's a solid 4. And people pointing out in the chat that Starlight Glimmer is a purple aggro card. Honestly, that just reinforces my opinion. 2, because purple aggro isn't a good deck.
Okay. As someone who's built House Arrest as a deck, I like it.
All right.
Yeah, next.
Alrighty, Trixie.
So remember the Ultra Rare and Crystal games that was okay because you revealed events from your hand? Here's like an actually playable version of the card, I guess.
Yeah. The value is obviously there. This goes to 4 to 8. If this gets to 8, it's already great. Any more than that, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
The only real unfortunate part is if you burst of strength it gets the counters, then gets doubled. It's really unfortunate.
I don't know. How does I forget how triggers works in this game half the time.
I'm pretty sure that it'll get the anyway. I tried building a deck with this card, and I think it's maybe there, possibly, but yeah,
I like it. I think it has a lot of potential. Is the summary because it can get some pretty big numbers, and it feels like, oh man, I'm gonna face off. Cool. I'll play my disruption, and I'll play some disruption. And this has 8 bajillion power, and I win because I just disrupted your 2 biggest things, and this thing is now huge.
Yeah.
And then they food fight it, and you go, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's the thing.
But yeah, I'd give it a 3 just because I feel like the deck it would like to be in doesn't really exist right now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's a deck there, and it's going to be reasonable. It might be 2/2. But I don't think the way the meta for this set's going to shake down, I don't think this deck's going to be in the top mix, which makes it a 3. Alrighty. Dora.
I love this card. I really, really like this card. For one, I always thought when I read it, it was Eccentric 2, but now it's 3, which is neat. And I love the fact that you can stick this card behind a Troublemaker and just get action tokens. It's funny. Yeah, like Eccentric 3 on a purple card is real neat. The extra action tokens you can get from it is also real neat. Like it's just simple value, honestly.
Yeah,
it's just sort of incidental if you're doing a simple, obvious game plan. And the fact that it's specifically its problem just can be a real psychological game. When you're like, okay, I'll put this here. When they have nothing at problems, they're like, I kind of want to go and confront that one, but it's got Eccentric 3, and
yeah. It's like, you see it and you kind of think of photo finish, but there are certainly scenarios where you've got one problem totally on lockdown. And, it's like, well, I kind of can't do anything with the other problem. But at least I'm still going to get my action token. And that's good.
Yeah. I give it a 3. I'd maybe even pushing 4, but I don't know. I don't think it'll be tier 1. Because it's such a psychological card, as I said, when you're like, okay, I'll move it here, and they've got nothing yet, and they're like, so it's 3 harder for me to confront that, but if I don't, they get value.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
yeah. It's a card that's really going to come down to choices and doing.
Oh, and it also hates on even ground because you never get to use the action token.
Point made. Yes. But yeah.
So if you see on even ground and you're playing this card, just get rid of it. Do yourself a favor.
But yeah, I totally agree with the 3. I think 3 is a good spot for it. Alrighty, into white. Coloratura.
I want this card to be good.
So yeah, this card is basically Fluttershy in a friend.
Yeah, but it can't confront a problem on its own because it's not contributing power. Mm-hmm. That's an important note to make.
That's a very important note to make.
I really want this to be good, but I have no idea where it goes because of the fact it costs 4.
Right, yeah. Like, I immediately thought of making like a yellow-white Fluttershy aggro with this, and then you say, okay, Fluttershy and this card confront everything, basically. But, as you say, 4 costs is just, ugh.
It's just like, man.
Yeah.
Why couldn't it have been a 2 for 2 that, like, cutie marks to do all this? But yeah, like, I think it's perfectly finely costed. I just don't know what deck it goes in, so it's a 3 for me, I think, just because I don't know what it goes in, but if it has a deck, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Just, once it's home, it's like, cool, that's far easier to confront. They're like, okay.
Yeah, this deck is, this card's waiting for a home, but when it, when it finds a home, it'll love it. So yes, 3 is good, I think.
I guess it's an okay reanimator target now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. Alrighty. Discord. 2 thumbs way up.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah.
Playing with it in the pre-release, oh my gosh, I love it. Yeah, like, having this card in hand has just proven to me how good it is, honestly. Oh, yeah. Like, I had 2 copies in a deck, and I was still like, yes, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, when I played it as a 2 for 3, after getting my Troublemaker back, that was Garble, so I could play Garble, and then return their thing to hand again, it was just like,
Yeah. I have not found a white deck yet that I would not put this card in. It goes in aggro decks, even though you don't have Troublemakers. It goes in control decks, obviously, because you have Troublemakers. This card's ridiculous.
Like, this card gives you your cake and lets you eat it. You know the old phrase, you can't have your cake and eat it? This gives you the cake and lets you eat it.
And forces your opponent to watch.
Yes. 4. Easy 4. It's not a card, it's not a meta-defining card, because it's not like, oh my gosh, you have to get rid of this as soon as it appears, but it's just good.
Yeah, this goes in all the white decks, I think.
Yeah. It's a good old staple. Glad it was common.
Yeah. Okay, glad mate.
It was weird. I never used its ability, not even in limited. 1.
Yeah, I just don't see these like things working together properly. I don't really.
Like, I like the idea of how it works because it's kind of like, cool, I'll set up this double face-off by making this really easy to confront by playing these 2 Troublemakers, but there's no deck that wants to do that I know of, so meh.
Yeah. It just, like I say, it's confusing. I don't really see how it works. So yeah, it's a pretty fair one, I think.
Yeah. I feel like 1.5 if there is that really weird deck that wants it.
Yeah, maybe. I sure.
Who knows?
Okay. Resource cheating Octavia.
I want it to work. I want it to work so bad. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as this card got printed, I looked up, like, every really expensive resource. And I'm like, okay, what can we do, guys? What can we do?
Yeah. I think...
For that reason, it gets... I'll say now, it gets a 3 for me, because it just feels like a card that, if someone breaks it, It's going to be really cool.
Right.
It's never going to be tier 1 because resources die to everything, and everyone always has an answer to resources.
And yeah,
but it's still going to do work.
Yeah, this is the kind of card that, like, when it works, it's great. It's just getting it there. As you say, I don't see that deck happening right now. I don't really see it breaking through at the moment. Personally, I give it a 2 because I think there's less chance of it than you, I guess. But
yeah, I just like cheat. I like cards that cheat things into play because I always feel like they're good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, certainly.
Fun fact: I had 2 resources in my 30-card pre-release deck at one of my pre-releases, and I played it every game, 4 games, hit it once. Yeah!
Oh, wow.
Eat that RNG. 1 in 15 chance. Like, oh my gosh. And you know what the worst part was? I had one of the 2 resources in hand.
Wow.
So I was like, there's one in the deck. Oh. That was funny.
Good stuff. Adio, Plaid Stripes. Another card people might have forgotten about.
My faith in this card has been restored by playing it at a pre-release where I got out turn 3. They lost so hard. It was just like, I saw it in my hand and I was like, my game plan is getting this out as soon as possible. Got it out turn 3 and they're just like, oh, cool, play this. That costs 2. Oh, yeah, it does. Don't play this. I'll play this. That costs 3. I don't play this. And it's just like, oh, it's gross.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She is so nasty. I kind of thought, oh, she might be okay. But when I realized how early you can get her out, because obviously I got her out turn 3 in limited, you can probably get it out turn 3 consistently in constructed. Maybe even earlier. Probably, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
If it's got 3 requirement, I don't know. You could do something. Constructed's got all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah, like it's just
And
if you get this out early when your opponent's like, I've got small cards to play, you go, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Have fun with those small cards.
Yeah.
Are you playing aggro? Cool. You've lost if you do not kick this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, against an aggro deck, this is likely to hit like maybe 90% of the cards in their deck. So yeah. And even in other decks, you know, that bottoms out at, I think, like, if I was playing like a farming deck, maybe it hits like, well, no, there's still troublemakers, so it hits like 45% at worst, I think, of the cards in their deck. Right. So yeah, she's 4, maybe even 5. Define, I don't know. Because she could change how people build decks if she gets used a lot, which she probably should. I don't know if I see white control.
4.
Yeah, I think it's a 4.
I think 4 is a good spot for her. 5's a bit excessive.
Yo, Merity. Honestly, this card.
Start the timer.
Oh, sorry. This card really confuses me. Because
this card's totally solid.
It's
better than that daring. It's better than that daring do that was this, but had 3 requirement or 4 requirement or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice in the pre-release. I feel like someone could make use of the fact, may need the fact that it's a 3/4 in certain decks. So I'd give it a 2, that it's got very limited potential in some deck lists. Yeah. Just because, a 3/4 with upside, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can get behind that. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's certainly good. I just don't.
I don't know what don't know what wants it, but if something wants it, it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I certainly agree with you too. There, it's the kind of card that I look at. It's like, oh, this is probably good somewhere, but I'm not entirely sure where.
I just thought, if you have the common Starlight in hand, the new rarity, and under lock and tree, turn 1 you play the common Starlight, turn 2 you play this, confront, flip your main, and you have a troublemaker to stand behind already.
Oh, that one.
It's kind of cute. The one that moves, that weird Starlight that's got 4 power and moves.
Oh, right.
It's kind of a cute idea.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Just thought of that.
Oh, sorry. 2. Okay. Yeah. And I already mentioned her a little while ago. Destiny Gourmand.
It makes me sad that it's when you play this card, because portaling this would have just been the tastiest thing in the world. And this would also be a really, really good reanimator target. If you could be like, cool, reanimate this, take this.
Very well played, calling this the tastiest thing in the world, by the way. Very well done.
Otherwise, I'm just kind of like, well, Method Mares already existed. I don't see this taking its place, but I don't really know.
Yeah. See, so,
I like the requirement. But what I've always liked about Method Mares is that you play it for 2 action tokens and just stare at your opponent and they're like, I don't like you anymore. Because they're like, I have to be careful about what I play because obviously with this, you have to take it when you play it. With Method Mares, you can just be like, actually, I'm going to do this turn. Okay. Pass to you. And then they go, okay, play things. You're like, oh, hey, a Thunderlane. Cool, I'll take that on my turn. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
Whereas with this, like, you obviously have to play it and take at the time.
Yeah.
Which is a bit.
Yeah.
See, now, if she had hasty, lol.
Yeah. See.
Yes. Oh, hey, you're gonna do that core ticket.
The thing is, like, take control effects are like amazing in other card games. Oftentimes, like in Magic, say, take control effect is great because I've removed one of your stuff and you have to deal with it now.
Yes.
But the thing about ponies is that's sometimes just not the case, right? Okay,
it's weird.
I took your thing, great, but whatever, right? Yeah. So.
Okay, cool. I can do my game plan with this instead.
Yeah. So personally, I ever done
the issue is there's no concept of blocking.
Yeah. So yeah, I ever done as a 1.
I said 2 just because someone might like it.
All right, fair enough. Alrighty, into yellow. 1/1.
I hate this card and it hates me. I played it in a pre-release where I was playing yellow. I did a count. I had 19 friends and 11 non-friends. 1 in 3 chance, yeah? I had 2 of this. I played it 6 times throughout the tournament, hit it 0 times.
Oof.
I hate it, and it hates me. Yeah, I was super excited because it seems like such a huge tempo swing and like real efficient and real good, but it's just fluffed for me. And when it was fluffing, it was just bad.
Yeah.
And that's the issue with all these Kerala cards. When they don't do it, they're just bad.
Yeah, this is a card that I really like that it exists. I think great. I think yellow kind of needed this, but this deck doesn't work. I don't think.
Yeah, like I give her a 1, a 2 if I'm being real generous because someone might like it. But I thought after playing with it, I like it a lot less than I did.
I'm with you on the 1 there. Yeah.
Also, eBugle said a thing. Go back to Zesty.
Sorry, what?
Go up to the white super resist.
Zesty, yeah.
Gain control of an opposing friend. I don't know. It's just note she affects troublemakers too, and I'm like, I missed that.
No. He said that about plaid stripes.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. I thought it was card, and I'd misread this for ages, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Take resources. If that read card, I'd probably play it. Take resources. Sure. Take troublemakers. Lol. Yeah. So 1 because I don't like it anymore.
Yeah. Rightio. Your time.
It's totally a 5, guys. It's the best card ever printed. No. So with the reveal of Thorax, this card got a lot more interesting. Like that's very clear because you're obviously building a deck where you're going to get a lot of friends. And so what I feel like with the Thorax deck, I figured out in the pre-release, one of the yellow problem that's new, which when you confront it, you move a friend from home to a problem. Really likes Thorax because obviously you pay 2, confront that, and then you have 3 Thorax clones that have been printed now: Flutterholly, Animal Allies, and those Changelings. And so you can be running, obviously, depending on how you think you need to, varying copies of those, and just sort of be like, on your turn, I'll pay 4 action tokens and confront both, or Fluttershy's parents pay 2 action tokens and confront both. So I feel like this card earns a 3 just because Thorax exists. Otherwise, I'd say it's like... Actually, no. Even without Thorax, I'd say it could be a 3 because there might be a tier 2 deck that really likes making giant Flutterhollies. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah, it's as you say, I think...
But I give it a 5. Not biased, honest.
it comes down to a choice, right? Like Thorax has a few slots that he can dedicate to, as you say, basically clones of himself, and whether it's this card, whether it's changing citizens, I'm not sure which one it is yet. I think
if you're running a second color, changing citizens is the obvious pick because it can be any color. If you're running mono yellow, it's a tougher choice.
Yeah. Yes.
You've got to think about what the deck's going to be doing.
So I think, probably a 3 for me. Alrighty. Paradox. Personally, I think this is not bad in yellow aggro.
It's not terrible, but it's not great.
Yeah.
I played with it, and I was like, oh man, I can discard this card that I don't need right now to it. And then I was like, oh yeah, but it only does 1 power. That was alright.
Yeah, it's the kind of card okay, say you've got your fast foods and your batons or even your thorax out. Okay, yeah, you've got power multipliers on this. You can say, okay, this is actually 2, this is actually 3, whatever. Then it starts getting better. But I don't know. I just don't know.
I'm not convinced. I'm still skeptical on it that it could be good, just because it's oh man, I drew my resource hate and they don't seem to be playing any good resources. And stuff like that, because obviously getting rid of cards that may as well be dead card, blank cards, to turn it into a critter, not the worst, but yeah.
Yeah. So I think 2. Right.
Yeah, 2.
Okay. Shy Parents.
I lost to this card and it makes me cry because it's so good and I want it.
Really, yeah?
Oh my gosh. For one, easy Thorax card, because you will take the time to pay those 3 action tokens, play this, and just be like, cool, Swift Thorax. And they go, yeah, okay. Or is it Friends?
No, it's Friends only.
Okay, well, I'll Swift Changelings and Hollies or whatever.
Yeah.
It's also really good, obviously, with the new Fluttershy, because the new Fluttershy doesn't need to move, so the fact that it says only Friends doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's a good point there as well.
I feel like it has a lot of potential just in sort of new yellow archetypal stuff from what I've seen from pre-release. Obviously, I haven't been doing much constructed yet because I've just been focusing on late pre-releases in comparison to everyone else. But yeah, so I'd give it. Was it 4? Just because Thorax.
You think so, eh?
Yeah, and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe my opinion is different because I've been doing deck building as opposed to actually playing stuff, which gives me a different different perspective. I saw less to it, honestly, but I think you make a pretty convincing argument for the point. I'm gonna give it a 3, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Does it get 5?
Yes. Yes. This card makes Thorax work, so I'm pretty sure it's a 5. Sorry. Thorax farming, that is. Thorax aggro, obviously not, but Thorax farming. This card. This card.
I mean, in Thorax aggro, you could run the Sunset that moves, because 1 action token to move Thorax for 1 isn't bad, and then if you pay 3 and poop out 4 critters and this, giving Thorax +5 power, none of that's bad.
Yeah. That's,
honestly,
that's definitely true. But
yeah, it. You see, my issue with Thorax farming is farming likes having control. Yellow doesn't really control very good, so you'd have to have a secondary color with Thorax.
Yes,
so I feel like all the other farming decks would probably do it better.
Well,
than Thorax does.
It's interesting. I made a post a little while back where I basically
did see that deck.
Yeah, where I basically explained the reasons why mono yellow farming isn't going to work, and I got replies with a Thorax purple farming deck, a Thorax pink farming deck, and a Thorax blue farming deck. I was like, oh.
Yeah, but like having to try and add the second colors diminishes from your consistency, your efficiency, and everything like that. So just the mono blue and the mono orange will probably stomp you over.
Yeah.
Or at least that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I think it remains to be seen. Like,
and in addition, the fact that Thorax has to confront to flip is a massive downside to farming.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, that's huge. You don't get to just be like, cool, play some epic, start a face-off, I've got my main now.
Mm-hmm.
You have to confront, then start doing things.
Yeah.
Sort of.
If Thorax farming exists, it will be a different sort of farming deck than we've seen before. It will be some sort of like hybrid farming deck, and I'm not sure if that deck's good, but I'm willing to bet that if it is good, this card's a 5, and I'm willing to say this card's a 5.
I'm going to go for 3.
All right.
I'm going to test it in Thorax aggro stuff I build, though, because I'm still convinced that putting in just like good utility troublemakers, because Thorax does have a little bit of wanting to set up in it, being able to play them early and just being like, cool, I'll play this, choose my double diamond, 6 critters. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so 3.
Right, Little Thorax.
I mean, like, it's real good if you're not playing yellow main character entry, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll play it, it'll go away, and you'll be like, oh, hey, I got another one, and now it's a 2 for 3. Bonk. Which, you know, you can't really complain about that.
Yep.
And other than that, whatever.
Yeah,
don't really run it if you're running yellow main, because you've probably got better choices, honestly.
I don't know. I find that yellow aggro really likes experienced. It's yellow's kind of a color that can take advantage of experience pretty well, I find. Kind of in the same vein that you can do white with Discord, kind of. But yeah, I don't know. As you say, when you're using yellow as your secondary color, I think this one's kind of a no-brainer, honestly.
Yes, it is probably the best Blue Jay ever printed.
That's true.
Good old Blue Jay. Unless you specifically need critter synergy, which when you're not running a yellow. And when you're not running a yellow main, that's highly unlikely. So I'd give it a 3 just because, obviously, if yellow wants to be a secondary color, it'll get played.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Okay. Trapistar. So there's an interesting phenomenon with this game, which is that
time limit.
Oh, sorry. Whoops. Yeah. Thanks. There's an interesting phenomenon, which is that oftentimes you can make better use of AT if you spend it on a bunch of little cards as opposed to one big card, because the little cards will have plus sides on them.
Yeah, we'll have multiple. You'll get multiple different abilities.
Yeah. And
this being basically a 4 for 5 is
yeah. And that big cost.
I like it's chaotic though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like that chaotic.
Yeah, but
otherwise it's still kind of just a 1.
The big cost really disincentivizes aggro decks from trying it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really find a place in a yellow farming deck if I'm farming deck like this. Yeah, I totally agree with that one assessment.
Yeah, nothing much else to say.
Alrighty, Vapor Trail. Now this card, it's pretty obvious what this card is for.
Oh, I hate it. Why is it even uncommon? Why does it have 4 requirement? Why does it have 1 power?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get the 1 power for a flip, but in play, it costs you 2 to play, and then if you confront, you get to move something, I guess. But that's after having to get 4 yellow requirement, and
yeah,
I don't like it at all.
I tried this in Fluttershy, because obviously that's what the card's for, and it just it fits that niche, and it's good to have Fluttershy in the face-off, great, but I can't really fathom many situations where I'd be okay with playing this from hand because it's just 1 power. So yeah.
I feel like someone will break it and make it really good, and good on you, that guy. I ain't touching it. I'm giving it a 1. I just don't like it.
Yeah, I agree. 1.
I guess 1.5 for that guy that breaks it.
Sure. And yeah, I see you there in the chat. Perhaps it's already been broken. Good for you. I don't have the creativity to see.
I don't like trying to break cards I consider very bad. Honestly, because I'll still feel like I'm playing a very bad card.
Yeah. So, ending yellow on a high note.
No, it's not. Oh, I hate it so much, even more than the other one. Why is it super rare? I wanted it to be common, to be a really, really cool bomb in yellow. So you're like, bam, Zephyr Breeze, oh, it died. Bam, Zephyr Breeze, oh, it died. Bam, Zephyr Breeze. And it's just like, oh my gosh, why does it have 6 power? But you couldn't do it in limited because he was a super rare.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because he just blows up so easily, is my issue.
You think, eh?
Yes. It's so easy for him to just bleh. Like, I'm used to having fragile things. This is too fragile for me.
You think, yeah? Okay. So I think I see the value proposition as still being what it is. Like 2 cost for that kind of ability is amazing. Like as I've mentioned already, I've been spending the last couple of weeks building decks instead of playing them. So maybe I'm missing that, but I had this down as a 5.
Ooh. He's a 2 because I know someone can make use of him, but I just don't like him. I just don't like him. Well, I wanted him to be common, and then it would have been really fun in pre-release if you pulled like 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
But super rare just made me sad.
Well,
although to be fair, if he wasn't common, he can be ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, are we done with friends? Because I need the toilet.
We're done with friends that are of one color.
Okay. That's still a good pausing point. I will be as fast as possible. I apologize.
Yeah, sure. Take your time.
Oh.
All those folks that are in the chat, how do you like a new overlay? I spent some time working on that. At least last I checked, there were people. And thank you all, by the way, to our viewers. I see people there. I see Hulk Court as well. We always appreciate people getting up, well, reasonably early in the morning, whatever your time zone may be, to give us our support. We're an hour and a half in to be about halfway through the cards, so we're on track for 3 hours. Is pretty much what I expected.
Oh, doop. Sorry about that.
No worries. Like you say, it's good to take a little break from now and then. I get some water too. So, rightio, you ready for multicolors?
Yeah, let's go.
Rightio, Apple Bloom. Yeah, so I didn't spend too much time looking at this card. Orange blue is kind of a strange color set right now. I think there are better cards that do what this card does. So
I'm not sure with this one. It's kind of tough because the reason I'd say it could ever be playable is because it can move for that. Like, yeah, you discard a card, but like, yeah. Yeah, I like it. I don't think it's terrible. But I don't think it's amazing. We'll just see. Blue-orange aggro is stuff that people always build, and I'm pretty sure this will get added to their lists.
You think, eh?
Maybe as a 2 of. Yeah, I think they'll just get thrown in. Because, zap apples, etc. means sometimes you do want to just discard cards.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe you're discarding too many cards because you got Wonderbolt Stadium 2. I'm not sure. That's why it's only a 2, because I'm just not sure, honestly.
Yeah.
3.
I agree with you with the 2 there. I guess I'm playing in a different metagame. I don't really see orange and blue particularly often. but maybe it
You
works.
see, I think a lot more about block than you do because
I guess.
yeah, the UK likes block, and oh my gosh, orange blue aggro was a big block deck that I learned. I learned very precisely how to defeat it. You replace trading traditions, and then they lose because you party of one.
That's one way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, Deck's reliance on trading traditions in Block 2 is why I could do so well.
Yeah, well, it's not just in block. There's a fair amount of that going around right now. So,
so next one.
Next one, yeah. Blue and orange again.
I mean, like, they printed something with less requirement, less cost, and it still had Swift.
Hmm.
And it was uncommon.
Yeah.
That's my issue with this card. Like, Orchard Blossom is just so good. This card is just like, look, we're really good too. Yeah, but Orchard Blossom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Totally.
I mean, Diligent and Swift is always good. Like, don't get me wrong. But do you pay do you pay 4 action tokens to play this when you already have Orchard Blossom out? I don't think so.
I wouldn't. It's the kind of card that, like, I can imagine myself building a deck. I'd be like, all right, I have like 50 cards, or whatever. I have Orchard Blossom in this. Not that one, right? Because this other card's already doing it for better. So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like, don't get me wrong, this card is good. It's really good, but Orchard Blossom's just too good. Like, because what? Diligent 2 on a 4-power friend with Swift, you really can't complain about that. And the card filtering you get, can't really complain. But by the time you can play this, you probably have Orchard Blossom out, and you may as well just use that card instead.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, a 1 because Orchard Blossom exists.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. Oh, blue pink. So I've already seen this card used to some pretty devastating effect.
I mean, like, with Trading Traditions, you play this and you play something else and confront, right?
Yeah.
Like, wow, turn 1, that was good.
Yeah. If you take advantage of her text, this card is free. Can we all just think about that for a moment?
Also, in my friend that's building the Hearthstone deck, their turn 1, it's pink and blue because turn 1 they play this and then they play Flurry Heart.
Oh, that's an idea, I guess.
And it's just like, there we go. Got her out turn 1. Yes, this card lets you play Flurry Heart turn 1. I don't know how to feel about it, honestly.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, like I say, I've had the misfortune of experiencing this already, and I really like the deck that uses it already. So I have this as a 5.
For me, it's a 4.
All right.
Also, I've been telling my friend who's played pink blue aggro for ages that he should play this, and he's like, no, I just run 1-for-1s. I'm like,
tell him, run 2-for-0s. They're pretty good too.
Yeah, it's so good.
Alrighty, moving along. Spitfire. 1 minute here. Yeah, what did I say? Hasty experience is good, I'm pretty sure.
It's interesting. I like the idea that you can hasty it in, discard itself, and frighten a friend. That's, like, really cute to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like, I'll play this, now it has 4 power, and that's frightened. And it's like, oh, man.
That's actually kind of...
And it enters your discard pile. Doesn't specify from where, so you then draw a card to replace it if you discard it to itself.
That's actually pretty interesting.
Which is why I really like this card, honestly. Like, the sorts of inbuilt synergy with itself, because if you're running it, you're probably going to run 3 copies because of how obviously designed it is to do that.
I think
it's just like...
You always run 3 copies of every experience card. I don't think they really work if you don't.
Why would you ever run less than 2?
Yeah.
And I mean, like, paying 2 for the other card we just looked at, then playing this for 1...
Ooh,
also isn't bad, honestly. Like,
yeah, that's pretty good.
You cannot complain about that. Like, if you just do that turn 2, and frighten the 1 friend your opponent played, maybe it's just like, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, for me, it's a 3 just because I see it less likely to be played than that. Flipping incredible card.
Personally, I have it down as a 2. Actually, I don't think.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Honestly, because of how much pink blue to me is now good, thanks to the card above, is probably why I put it at 3.
Yeah, I can understand that.
It's Severus Snape.
Yeah. Here you go. The obvious Snape card. Where is he here? So I tried purple blue when I was doing my research, and I didn't really like it all that much, honestly.
So Purple Blue Frighten was a thing for a while, and
yeah.
this kind of seems like a card that wants to revive it, but I don't think it's good enough. Then again, I never played Purple Blue Frighten, so there's probably a person who'd tell me otherwise and why it's the best card for the deck that they could possibly be, but I'm just not convinced by it.
No.
It's a nice trigger, for sure, but you have a Luna that gives you a point. Just run that instead.
Yeah. Yeah, points tend to be better than that.
Or run both, I guess.
You could. But yeah, I just don't see the deck as there right now.
You see, like if it had prepared or like just something else to make it so it helps you a bit more on keeping the control going, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is like a 3, but for now it's a 2 because someone might make use of it.
Personally, I have it down as a 1.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So if I think every multicolour card for me is going to be like at least a 2 because someone will make use of it.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
That's a fair argument. Right? Alrighty, cool, thanks.
Like, kind of the same thing as with Snape, honestly. Except for him, I think he's a little better than Snape, but he's still going to be a 2 for me. Because of how he cheats things and stuff like that. So he helps you get your control on by digging for troublemakers and just going, bam, it's there. You can't double face off right now because you have to beat this.
Yeah.
Sort of sticking the wall there straight away rather than having to give it a turn is always actually pretty nice.
Oh yeah, for sure. And especially since like you're running purple blue, you're going to be running Daring Do, obviously, which means that troublemaker is entering play with much more power than it necessarily should. So it's pretty effective.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer than Snape Pony is. I don't even know what the card's actual name is. I just call it Snape Pony.
Flintheart. Professor Flintheart.
Okay, Professor Flintheart. That's such a cool name.
Yeah. Goodbye, Bugle, by the way. I see you leaving there. This is why we don't run 5-hour streams. Anyway, have a good day. Yeah, I agree this card's like better than... you're going to have me calling it Snape soon enough. Flintheart. But still not quite there yet. I'm going to bump it up to a 2.
Yeah, fair enough.
Alrighty. Got a lot of multicolor left. Scootaloo. Timer started. So obviously we all know what blue-white looks like. I imagine we've seen a lot of it. Yeah. As of like what the Marks in Time blue-white deck looked like.
Yeah. I punch you really hard. Well, there's no punching in the game, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
This card just feels a bit too slow. When you win a face-off involving this card, specifically, is also like oh man, it's not a Luna sort of thing, because if it was, it would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like if you built blue-white control, which you wouldn't, because that would be really weird, but you could, because the rare also kind of wants you to build blue-white control.
Kind of.
This card is like, I'll set behind a troublemaker, and then when you go, I'll double confront. Win the face-off, get the extra 1. Oh, okay. Like, that's not bad.
Yeah.
But it's like, you pay 4 action tokens for this, and the extra points will apply once, maybe twice.
Yeah. Like,
so it's like, okay.
Yeah. In like one viewing of this card, you could kind of look at it as like a weird night glider kind of, because it is like when you win a face-off.
Oh yeah, like obviously it's you take points from 2 to 1, and you don't have to win by +5.
Yeah, but
like okay, but you pay 4 for it. You pay double the cost for it. Have to run 2 colors, and it's like
yeah. So I have.
It reads really nicely though. It's one of those cards where it reads really nicely, and then when you really think about it, you're like, wait.
Yeah.
Eh.
So I have this card as a 2.
Yeah, 2, because someone might figure out a way to use it.
He'll refrain about these multicolors, yeah. Okay. So, as you were mentioning, our rare Zombonies. Very much, as you say, very much a control card.
Yes.
Which,
I mean, it fits with what's the Sven Gallop. This card is really sort of like, it's really nasty with Sven Gallop because it's just like, oh man, if you can pay the action tokens to frighten my friends when I play them, I have to pay 3 to unfrighten them, which is like brutal.
Yeah.
Still brutal. So like, they seem to want to push blue X Frighten-y control decks for some reason, and I'm like, dude, Frighten is like one of my least favorite mechanics. Please don't.
Well, it's true that blue has been very blue for the longest time now.
Yeah, they're trying to like give it this new direction where frightening is good and you get to control with it, and I'm like, okay. And I'd say this is a good card. It's really nasty. The fact that it's a 5 for 5 is like, oh no. But then obviously, like, when you play it and then frighten something and they have to pay 3 to get that back, kind of sort of paid an awkward 2 for it, which is okay, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
But like, to be fair, like, this is worth it when you play into like, oh hey, you've got 3 things frightened, and you just go Zombonies, frighten a 4th, and they're just like,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, personally, I have down as a 1. I just don't actually see the deck.
2. Just because, like, whenever I think about blue Frighten-y control decks, I always remember that blue Frighten-y control decks doesn't mind losing a double face-off and then it being their turn because of Spooky Scary Story.
That's true. It's true, yeah.
And it's just like, if you have this out and you Scary Story them, it's just like, okay, cool, that's good.
Yeah.
And the fact that, unlike Scariest Cave in Equestria, which has the rally, the rally text on it, this isn't unique. So if you get 2 of these out, it's just like, cool, I can't. I'm just never going to unfrighten anything, am I?
No.
Chuck in Torch. Maybe it'll be Frighten Reanimator. Reanimate this, reanimate Torch, just frighten everything. Play all these big cards that like frightening and do it for cheaper.
there's some impressive flavor on reanimating this card.
Yeah, because they're Zombonies. What's the redeeming qualities of Zombonies?
You pay +1 to rally friends.
Yeah, like, I feel like, it's a card that I could see getting played if the Frighten-y decks are a thing. The issue with Frighten-y decks, obviously, is every time they come up, they can't do anything against epics because you can't frighten the main character. Woo!
Yeah, very true. Okay. Unfortunate Bugle left.
Don't worry, it's not got the April Fool's text on it.
But yeah. So blue-yellow is a color that, or at least a color combo that is, I think, going to work in this set. It's like,
yes, it's a good set of aggro colors. It's got enough support to be like, ooh.
And yeah,
sort of.
And this is a card that really brings the colors together. I think that really creates. It allows blue cards to work with yellow cards and kind of create.
My favorite little interaction with it is when you have Spitfires, the one that makes Pegasi. Suddenly you have 1 action token to move like 3 power, just because you played this card.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Like, just so the incidental value you get from a card like this is just nice.
Yeah, it's interesting that it has that calming 2 on there, and it's like, oh well, the card's great even without that. So awesome. Yeah. So I have this one as a solid 4.
Yeah, 4.
Alrighty. Now, this is one that I'm a
what
little
does this
bit.
One do again?
It's when you lose a troublemaker, you get to move something.
I mean, like, if you have a deck that easily has 3 of blue and yellow, you may as well run this as a 1 for 2.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because it's got Swift, which, once again, oh, hey, look, that's relevant with the other card we just talked about. And the fact that it's like, oh, man, I lost a troublemaker face-off. Cool. I'll just move something either to the troublemaker so I can beat it again better, or I'll just move it over there. cool, I confront that now.
Yeah.
Like, it's the fact that it's not move it back to where it was is just like, oh, cool, I'll move this over here.
Yeah.
And confront. And I have a bunch of action tokens, so I'm going to make it so I will beat this troublemaker next turn.
Yeah, this
so,
is...
like, if it's too difficult, like, the only thing I'd say is if it's too difficult for you to get the 3 and 3, maybe cut it.
Yeah, well, see, like, this is one of those cards that seems like a natural pick for blue yellow. It's like, oh yeah, I'll just throw this on the.
It feels like an auto include if the 3s were 2s.
Yeah, but it also seems like one of those cards where if I was desperate to cut stuff, I might consider cutting it.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I still say it's good. Like, it's totally solid. I think I'd give it a 3. It's not as sort of, oh my gosh, just put it in if you're playing those colors as Cloud Chaser and Flitter feels.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Okay. AJ Pinkie Pie.
This card was really annoying in pre-release.
Is that so?
I didn't have them. I only played against them. And because this pre-release was, like, for me anyway, was so troublemaker control heavy, it was just like, I'll play this. That gets bigger by 1. Oh, yeah, it does. I still need to play that, though.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean. And I lost a game to forgetting that it had Eccentric 1. Like we said that would happen. The Eccentric 1 will be relevant. Yes, it will, because you'll forget it exists.
Yeah. Yeah, this is it's kind of a card that I agonized over a bit when I was drawing up my ratings, because I was going down the list and saying, yeah, 2, 2, 2, 1, yeah, whatever. And then I looked at this like, orange pink is so weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it exists.
The color combination of orange pink still not having an ultra rare makes me sad.
Yeah.
It's just like
so, like, yeah, I'm really, really conflicted. And for that reason, I'm going to give it a 2.
Yeah, I think for constructed, it's a 2. In limited, specifically because of the format it was in, it was just like a 5. Oh my gosh, it was so annoying.
But yeah, this is the kind of card, like, maybe if orange pink gets some impressive, like, really, really impressive stuff, yeah, maybe it happens. Anyway, Smith. Much of what I said for the last card is going to apply here. Oh, timer, sorry.
I mean, like, the thing I like about this card is that it gives you card advantage. Like, that's just super neat. In combination with the new AJ, it's just like, cool. Oh, hey, there's the best friend. I'll take that. Mm-hmm. And you start flipping like 3, 4 cards, and it's just, it's such a hassle. This card for me would be a 3 if I knew pink and orange could actually get played together in a reasonable deck. Mm-hmm. Because this is just like solid card advantage, solid effect. Yeah, you're paying 4, but it kind of buys itself back quite quickly by you winning face-offs due to flipping extra cards and just getting friends and incidental card advantage from it. Mm-hmm. But because pink and orange just like doesn't really get played, I'll have to give it a 2, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
I want to give it a 3, but just there's no support for it is the annoying thing.
Yeah, as I
said,
not
properly.
It's pretty much copy and paste everything that I said about the last card and throw it in here. It's clearly great value, but like I don't know what orange pink is, and so it's a 2.
If orange pink gets a deck, I feel like it'll end up being a 4. Though it'll be oh my gosh,
yeah, this is
why?
That, like we've had.
If it breaks, it's like oh no.
We've had
it kind of like if your opponent's running orange and pink, this reads get rid of it now. Just do it.
Yeah.
Honestly, like trust me. Oh.
Radio. Orange and purple. One of my favorite color combinations this set. And these 2 multicolor cards are pretty good. Reasonable reasons why, at least. Well, actually, no, not this one. Like,
I mean, he's okay. There's nothing wrong with him.
Yeah.
But you know what I kind of like with him as an idea? Mm-hmm. I'm purple. I'll return this to the top of your deck. Oh, hey, you drew on your turn. I'll play him and name the card. It's gone now.
Yeah, I can understand
and that's
that.
that's kind of how he feels to me because he's both purple and orange, and they were like, well, it synergizes with purple effects, but it's also an orange feeling effect because they discard. And that's kind of sort of how you looked at it. I also like the idea that with 4 action tokens you go Dream Seized. Cool. And I also want to get rid of that, so I'm going to name it.
Okay, I can see that, yeah.
Like, so I feel like this guy has potential if other cards that let you have information on your opponent's hand are good.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really know, because I gave the example of like what Nap Cakes and Dream Seized, which are like the 2 cards that you know of that do things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it's kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a kind of card that I think doesn't quite have enough support.
It doesn't have enough of an oomph.
Yeah.
Oomph.
Yeah. So I have him down as a 2.
I'll say 3 just because I feel like he has a little more potential than I know.
All right, sure. Now, Stripes.
Thank gosh he doesn't have Stubborn.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is this is a card that I shortlist for purple orange control. I think pretty easily.
Yeah, like if you're running purple and orange, and I mean any of this text could be in your game plan, you may as well run him.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know who's going to be running purple orange aggro, but I want to meet that person. High five them for building a cool deck.
Yeah, certainly. I don't see it happening, but yeah. So, but yeah, like park this guy behind a troublemaker, and
I mean, like in purple orange, this guy may as well be a 3 for 4. I mean, a 3 for 5 because you're going to have the extra active tokens from your cover to cover and your AJs or whatever.
Yeah, good point. Very good
Which in and of itself is ridiculous. And then he's got the exhausty thing that's relevant when he's behind troublemaker. Well, he doesn't even need to be behind the troublemaker, does he? It's just like, cool, exhaust that.
He just needs to be.
It's just like, yeah, okay, I did the thing. Okay, I did the thing. There you go. And it's just like, all right.
So yeah.
Yeah, he's nuts. He's easily a 3, and I'm guessing you'll rate him higher.
I have as a 4.
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
Alrighty. Now, I assume you have a lot to say.
So, like, I really like the concept of Reanimator. Because I played a lot of Magic, and it's always been an archetype in Magic that's kind of there, but kind of not. And I feel like this card does the exact same thing for this game. It'll be kind of there and kind of not. Because I like the fact that you pay 4, and then you obviously... It kind of fuels itself because you do get rid of the cards when you play it, and then you get to obviously bring something back. And, like, so if you run 3 of this and 3 redeeming qualities and just sort of go for it, it's like, okay, what does the rest of my deck do? And that's the question I'm currently asking myself, because I'm not really sure. There's one card in this set that is the obvious best Reanimator target we probably have, but we'll get to that a lot later. For now, I think like the idea of being able to... you've just got to look at really powerful enter triggers on big bodies, basically. Because it can't be when you play this card, because you don't properly play it. It has to be when it enters. So obviously, like I said, with Zomponies, it's pretty good. Playing Torch, like sort of sneaking in Torch, just because you may as well, things like that. I don't think it's going to be amazing, but it's definitely something I just want to play casually.
Yeah.
And it'll be real fun.
See, the thing I have about this card, basically, is that there's a card coming up right next to it that's pushing orange and white in a different direction really, really strongly because that card is insane, which kind of decreases my allure for this deck, for this card.
Yeah, but you run the next card in the deck anyway, because when you do the ability, you do it to yourself.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's what I like about her. She also fits the game plan this card set out, as well as being just incredible.
Yeah, maybe.
So this, because it's close to my heart, I give a 3, but I feel like it's probably a 2. Realistically speaking.
I'm giving it a 2 myself, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a 3 for me because I like the idea of running it.
Anyway, as we were saying,
yes. Oh my gosh.
Is this the first card that everyone? This is the first card from Spoilers that everyone just completely lost their minds over. I think it might have been.
Yeah. Fun fact: at one of the pre-releases, someone had 3 of this.
Huh.
You lost the game by having no deck anymore because they could play them all, and you just have no deck, and you'd be like, "Okay, cool, I lose now. Great."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This card is just so dumb, and I love it. Like the slim chance you might use it on yourself is incredibly slim. Most of the time, you just go, "Cool, look at my opponent's stuff. I don't want you to have any of this."
Mhm.
Oh, hey, is that early game stuff that's bad now? You can have that.
Yep.
And it's just like, okay, this is good.
Yeah. Like honestly, for me, the only reason this card's not a 5 is because I don't see it like activating any particular deck. It just like goes in everything.
It's just it's a 4 because it's just a solidly good card. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, I remember building orange white, and it was weird. Let's do it again, but now better.
And as I said earlier, I think.
And then Orchard Blossom got spoiled, and the deck got even weirder.
But yeah, orange white I think is gonna do it this set. Might not be necessarily the best deck ever, but I think it's gonna be a presence. So.
Yes.
And this card's one reason why. In fact, it's probably the biggest reason why.
Yeah.
Okay. Orange yellow, surely.
So this card was rare because I saw it getting played in the pre-release, and that was what was gross about it. Other than that, I haven't even edited my orange yellow deck that I really like because I love Protective Big Sis. In ages. I think I put some Marks and Times cards in it and then never played it because I knew it was still bad. Yeah. And I don't think this card makes me go, oh man, the deck's going to be great now, because it's kind of alright.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely, if I get some, I will test it, and I might be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those cards that you'd say, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's definitely I'll give it a 2 because I'm definitely going to test it in my orange yellow, and I think with just solid good orange cards, orange yellow might get played just because Protective Big Sis is that good of a card.
Yep. Yeah.
Protective Big Sis has been good since it was printed, but it's just not had a deck. So if it's mono orange, but you have some yellow just to play this because it's good, could be a deck now. I feel.
I'm optimistic enough to give this card a 3.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Because never stubborn and immediate exhaust this card to do a good thing. It's always good.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Radio.
Now this is the card that actually makes me think that orange yellow could be played.
You think? Eh?
Seems weird, right? But with the AJ main, you can just be like, cool, I confronted both. Won this face off, Diligent 2, Diligent 2. So you get it on both of them. If you then play, what is it? The one that just doubles power for 2 action tokens.
Yeah.
Just be like, cool, double its power from 6 to 12. That is 10 counters, which could be quite a lot of rocks.
Yeah, I can understand.
And then the fact that if you're playing yellow, you probably have some incidental critters just in the deck. Just being able to be like, oh man, I've played, I don't know, random example, Peewee. 2 Peewees, cool, turn them into a rock. Just being able to turn stuff that's not very valuable anymore into 3 power friends that are at problems is a lot better than I thought it was when I saw it getting played.
You're right. I didn't consider the fact that you could use this on critters other than the ones that were made by this card.
Yes, and that's what pushes it over the edge. I was like, it's not critter token specifically. It's just like, oh man, I don't need this critter or that critter anymore. Bang, rock. There we go. Just put 3 power there. And it's like, okay.
Yes.
It's a card that has a lot of incidental value, and that's probably why it'll be good.
Yeah.
Which is why I put it at a solid 3 rather than a shaky 2 like with Truly.
I actually had this card as a 1 until you started talking. Now it's a 3.
Yeah, it's just it has a very nice incidental value feel to it that I was like, wow, why is this so much better than the rare?
Bang Rock. I think that's probably the name I'm going to start calling this card. Bang Rock.
Rock.
Alrighty. Piggy by Twilight. So I experiment.
I keep using experience. I keep using experience from seeing cards played in pre-release for this for cards. I haven't seen this. I still don't quite know what to think about it. So go on.
I tried. I tried building purple pink with this card. I just don't think like the value is there. It's good, but it's too overtimey. It's too like purple pink already exists and already is a great deck, and this card doesn't do enough to make it into that deck.
It doesn't. Yeah. Like 4 action tokens, and it technically does nothing when you play it for 2 power.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a hard sell from the beginning. It reads kind of nicely, but yeah. I feel like if you have 5 action tokens, you play this, and then you let's get this party started. It's like, way take that.
Yep.
But it's like, other than that situation, you're just kind of not going to feel that great about it.
Yeah.
I wish it had prepared. Then I'd be like, oh man, it might just be playable because then you get the action token and you can disrupt them for the turn you wasted. And...
yeah, prepared could do it maybe. Yeah. Like obviously, you think it's like, okay, I'm going to run this in a DJ deck, of course, because
cards.
But even then, I just don't see the value as being enough.
1.5. There you go. It's the only non-2 multicolor. Someone might like it. I just don't.
I have it down as a 1 myself. So yeah.
Yeah.
Now.
This, on the other hand, is so much better.
Yeah, you want to talk about a character making her triumphant return? Oh boy.
Oh man. Yes, Rainbow Shine. I still don't get why the other one's banned. But oh well. This is real nice. Mm-hmm. I really like this.
Yeah, this card is sitting at a...
I don't even remember... I remember the immediate, but what's the second one? When an opponent starts to face off, you may draw a card. Yeah, okay. That's nice as well. Like, if you're behind Troublemakers, it's obvious how you're getting cards off this. Mm-hmm. But as a 2-for-2, it's kind of like Pink-Purple's Factory Jack.
Oh, totally.
Because if you sit behind a Troublemaker... chances are you have events.
Yeah.
So once per turn cycle, you're probably going to exhaust this to make it cost less.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also like the fact that you can exhaust it and be like, cool, let's get this party started. It hasn't got that awkward test where it's like, to a minimum of 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this card is sitting at a
always good.
Very, very tempting place on the requirement curve. It's the kind of card that you'll be able to play out nice and early and reap compare that, by the way, with Pinkie Pie and Twilight. Because, this is another value over time card that gets great over time. But the difference is you play this early and you get your value, as opposed to you play it, I don't know when you play it, and, well, yeah.
Like, you play this early and it's great early. You play this late and you're like, cool. If you're still doing what your deck's probably going to have as its game plan with a card like this, it's still just good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, I have this card down as a 4.
Yeah, 4. It's not like, oh my gosh, build decks around this because you're building a deck and this fits in it.
Pretty much, yeah. Alrighty, Saffron. What does this card do again? Sorry,
oh yeah, this card is absolutely hilarious in my block deck. I party of 1. Everything goes away. My main has 20 power. I confront. Cool, you'll go. Because taken into account, as far as I know, it will see itself and everything else leave for its ability. I think it will.
I'm not entirely sure on that one. At least play. I'd appreciate getting some clarification on that.
But I think it does. I'm not sure though.
Yeah.
But like, if it doesn't see itself and everything else leave play with party of 1, then it's straight up bad. Don't play it. But in pink-white block, where if it does see itself and everything else, this card is a hilarious entry with trading traditions.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you can now run nine cards that are 2-for-2s in pink and white with 1 requirement each, and that can just be your entry in pink-white now, if you want.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
And then you can just be like, cool. At that point, you're just like, cool. I have 3 requirements in each color, and that's all I pretty much need.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a fan of this card because it might change how I build my block deck, my party of one control sort of grossness. And obviously, it's that turn where you party of one, and usually you're like, oh man, I don't get to confront, but you do as long as your main's at a problem.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it. It's like party of one, I actually confront yours, and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
Which is why I put it at 3 because I know I'll be using it. Like, large chance I'll be using it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't really considered that. I had it at a 2.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Now, for tender tabs, I did actually find a place for this in Octavia. Actually, funnily enough, at pink white, I tried it out.
You know what spot it is in my pink white deck?
Uh-huh.
Play it, get method mares. It's just like, oh god, no.
Yeah.
And they're just like, no. Yeah, there's a lot of, and then there's also the there's the bubble mare that QT marks to dismiss.
Mm-hmm.
Like, either of those are really, really good targets for this.
Yeah, there are a lot.
So I was like, I need to get this card and test it. Like, oh my gosh.
There are.
At this rate, I'll only run multicolored cards.
It turns out there are a lot of really good cards actually that you can bring back with this.
Yes.
That create the value just so good. Like even if you're just bringing in a 2-cost 2-power vanilla friend, hey great, this card's now a 5 or 3. That's good.
Okay, look, I got Kevin. I don't mind. It's got 5 power and what? Eccentric 2?
Eccentric 2.
Eccentric 2 isn't small. Unlike all the weird eccentric 1s we saw, this is eccentric 2, which is actually like, ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've got this card down as a real solid 3.
Yeah, for me it's 4 just because I'm the person who runs pink white party of one in block 2.
Totally cool. Rightio. That is a request for you. Not to be confused with Defenders of Spiketopia.
No.
Although it's interesting that both those cards exist.
Yeah. I mean, this sort of follows my confusion with what they did with pink yellow in Marks in Time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so you want me to retire? You want me to make a lot of friends and retire them? And like, what? What is this card doing? I don't get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, obviously, the turning a troublemaker face down effect is nice. I'd prefer it if it was dismiss, because obviously, if you just turn it face down, it comes back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The next turn, which is usually not very good. The fact that when you do that effect, it's a 3 for 3 rather than a 3 for 2 is kind of nice. I wish it was a 3 for 3 that turned into a 3 for 4 when you retire a friend.
Yeah.
But apparently that was too good.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Cards that, like, you use all the text and the card becomes fair. Right, yeah? So,
yeah. Why can't it be unfair because, well, slightly good? Like, yeah. For me, it's still a 2 because I'm like, there is a lot of pink-yellow stuff that likes retiring. Obviously, like, adding Belly Flop, a card we've mentioned so many times at this point.
We'll get there eventually,
This card can get really big, but I just don't see it.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I look at this and think, okay, sure. So say we're running this in a meta where everyone's running control decks, and so there's a lot of troublemakers out. I don't even know if I'd run this card in that meta, honestly.
Yeah, the fact is, we got so much really powerful yellow troublemaker hate in this set that this card was just underwhelming in comparison to them.
Yeah, so for that reason, I'm giving this card a 1.
I say 2 because like all these are going to be 2s, as I said.
As you say. Alrighty. Junior Paleo.
Another card that I'm like, so you want to retire stuff? Question mark.
Yeah.
Like, I'd consider it higher if the calming was higher. Then you could be like, well, you're going to do shenanigansy stuff because it's got a high calming and it only cost you 1. Ooh. But it's only calming 1, so it's okay.
Yep.
It's been a long time since we've been able to go through problem decks, though, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but like, going through problem decks was never particularly great, except for that one combo deck, basically.
Yeah.
So
I remember I had one deck I built that was like purple, pink, and it was this weird control deck that relied heavily on that problem from the DJ mod decks that gets +1 for your opponent to require for each friend.
Oh,
no, it's plus for each friend there. It's +1 for opposite side, and the idea is I'd dig through my problems, and then I'd get so many friends out that you just couldn't confront that problem, and then I'd double face off in my own time and beat you.
That's an idea.
Like it was actually pretty good, honestly. It did good with my local metagame because obviously we're not always running tier 1 decks because we'd get bored of it and we'd have no money.
Right, of course.
So this card, like, digging through problems is a bit reminiscent of what I used to do, and I kind of like it, but it's just, like, if you want to dig through problems, just play Snips and Snails problem solvers and just go through them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, problem deck things has, like, never really been good. And so,
but it's definitely a combo card, because if you need a specific problem, this gets you to it.
I guess, yeah. But anyway, I'm giving it a 1.
I'll say 2, because anything that's a combo card has to be at least 2.
I guess.
That's why I said 1.5 for what's her name. That was technically a combo card. That yellow uncommon that I hated.
Right, yeah. Okay. So now we're getting into my jam. Purple-white. I love purple-white.
This card is super cheeky.
Would you like to?
You know what?
Would you like to fight my 0-point troublemakers forever? Basically, is the way that I see purple-white being in this set.
You know what I really hate about this card?
Huh?
It just feels like it should have more requirement because you're not playing this turn 1. I'll play it turn 1, do nothing. Woo!
Yeah.
It feels like it should just have 2 requirement just cause. Like, the ability it has is designed for later. But obviously, like, it's perfectly costed as it is, but whenever I see 1 requirement on each side, I always think, play this early and you get your requirement out. And it's like, but you don't play this early because you want it at least a little later once the troublemaker in discard.
Yeah. Like, I suppose you could have, maybe you discarded a troublemaker at some point for,
Changelings, maybe?
Yeah, but, yeah, you're totally right on that one.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just a perfectly solid card for purple-white control stuff.
Yeah. I have it down as a nice even 3. I'm not sure if it's, as you say, I'm not sure if it goes into the deck, obviously, but definitely something that I'd like to try.
Yeah.
3. Okay. Mike. So, as I say, would you like to pay 1 to challenge my 0-point troublemakers forever?
He just reads lol. Now it's even more awkward while I control you, which is just nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say he's another solid 3, but that's not even a joke. But it feels like a joke because he's got 3, 3, 3, 3. He's a 3.
Yeah. But yeah, I totally agree. It's like purple-white was a color that I really, really tried to make work the last set, and I was kind of drifting away from it as I saw spoilers, and then suddenly OCR came out. I was like, oh, purple-white again, yeah.
So the multicolor cards kind of save purple-white troublemaker control stuff because, like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Like, none of its abilities are bad. I'd like Spike if he costed cheaper, but he's fine as he is.
Yeah, totally.
Because he's sort of like, you play a mid-game, and it makes everything just worse for them. Because obviously 3 requirement on each side's a little tough.
Mm-hmm, totally.
Depending on the deck.
Yeah, but I mean, I find it, like, when I used to run that deck, I ran it with Changeling Pretender. For the color tree. I guess I'd probably run it with Professor Twilight Sparkle now. But
yeah, easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing is with Changing Pretender as well, even if you do that, if you control too hard at the start, with all the mains that flip on confront now, is like,
that's the thing.
Maybe she won't even flip.
Yeah, it's like, that's always been the thing about Changing Pretender. You do have to let your opponent flip their main over, and that's often it's a game why I have to give you a little bit of rope to hang yourself, and maybe you won't take it.
And it's one of those things where it's why I found Chrissy to suit the pink-white really well.
Mhm.
Because even if your opponent doesn't flip their main, that's still good for you because you go, you have no friends and 1 power.
Mhm.
There you go. And like, so either situation, you're in a good position with Party of One and the Chrissy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've talked about my pink white too much. I'll stop.
Anyway,
This card's a solid 3.
solid 3. Yeah. On to purple yellow with a deck that we all know and love already, which is not going anywhere, I'm sure. But Mayor. What do I have to say about this card?
It works in Thorax because it doesn't add to your home limits.
Yeah, I know that's a fair point. It's interesting. Like I've been trying to make purple yellow work for a little while. That is non-Zippo purple yellow, and this is the kind of card that would go into that deck if it existed. I still don't think it exists, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, and I don't see this going into a Zipper Will deck, honestly. So.
Honestly, I don't even know the Zipper Will deck list, but like, does it run the Zipper Will that makes it so your critters don't contribute to home limit as well?
Not usually.
No, because I feel like this card could make them think about it, because obviously QT marking it for 2, making 2 critters and moving 2 things home isn't ever going to be terrible. And then if you can keep all these critters you make at home after doing all these controlling things, to even then if they try to do something, you can be like, cool, that's got 0 power. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's maybe.
So I'm not saying it will, but it's possible.
Yeah, but yeah. So I think this card's sitting in a nice 2 spot for me.
Yeah, I mean, someone might do it.
Yeah,
it's a simple one,
as we say. Now, Sunburst. Perhaps a different sort of card.
Still not sure.
Yeah. Exhaust to gain 1. Always exhaust to gain 1, right?
It's always going to be good.
Yeah.
It's always good, but like, yeah. I could see the already sort of created purple-yellow decks running this, but I could also see them not caring because they have cover to cover. Like,
yep.
It's so tough. It's just because, like, he is a 3 for 2 that has the exhaust effect and not stubborn. On the other lines of text, it's difficult to say that they'll be incredibly relevant.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, it's
the issue.
Like, it's kind of like people look and say, oh yeah, Factory Check might have been a little bit too good. Let's go try 3 for 2, perhaps. But now maybe it's not so good enough.
Yeah, it's a tough call. It's definitely better than that old Twilight from Premiere, though, I guess.
Yeah, give her that. Yeah. But I have this card at a 3, just as, like, you know, I
still think it's a 2, but I just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be experimented with, and
yeah,
I'm not willing to say it's not going to be good enough. So,
fair enough.
I'm not willing to definitively say it's not going to be good enough. Okay, we're almost there. Rarity and Shy, or at least we're almost there as the end of the multicolor friends. Rarity and Shy, yes. So much was
creating critters when there's a face-off. I wonder when that'll be relevant.
Yes, much was made when this card came out of the deck that wants it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that deck still wants it, and I think it'll still try. So.
Yeah, like, it's a 3 because I know that deck might try it, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, I mean,
in limited is bad. You don't get enough out of it. Don't try.
Yeah, it's been said. It's going to come down to a choice of deck space in Zephyr Will. I don't know if there's space for it right now, but they're definitely going to be tried, and that's pretty much the definition of a 3. So
yeah,
hey, radio. Here we go. Last multicolor friend. 300.
I like it with Kratos, and that's kind of it.
Like,
because it's like, oh man, I don't even have to move my critters to retire to Kratos.
Yeah.
Like, that's not bad.
Very hilarious.
And like with all these controlling keywords like the calming and the showy, it's just kind of like, cool, I'll stick it behind a Trollmaker, just keep getting me bonus points.
Yep.
You know, annoy the heck out of it.
Very hilariously anti-flavorful with using this tree hugger to essentially feed your critters to the Kratos wood chipper. Don't
tell her. Don't tell her.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the kind of card that like Kratos stacks aren't a thing right now. Maybe they could be. Like, points are always points.
Yeah, I feel like with the rarity, making sort of lockdowny white decks with yellow to then just do stuff like this is actually kind of more possible.
Yeah, it's
which is why I actually have faith in it.
Yeah, maybe this is like what the white rarity main's going to want to do. Is like white and then yellow for its points. I didn't think I'd ever say that sentence, but yeah.
Yeah, like you've got the yellow ultra rare that's not thorax for points and stuff. So like, yeah, it could be white yellow point farming control, which sounds really weird, but yeah. I need to make a deck list of this now, don't I? Now that I've sort of suggested such a weird concept.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just down to 2. To like
3 just because of Kratos synergy.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that deck works yet or not. I'd have to try to see if I can build it. Okay, breathe a sigh of relief. We're not done friends yet, though. We have 2 friends left to go. Meticulous. Changing Citizens. So the card's kind of pretty good.
Thorax likes it. A lot of things like it. If you're going to play any more than like 4 friends and they'll stay, you may as well play this as just like an enabler of second color, honestly.
Which most decks do.
Like, it's so good. In Thorax, this card is an incredibly good second copy of Thorax. It has like 3 less power or something?
Yeah. It'll have 3 less.
Yeah, and it's just like, cool. This gives me my second color if I have it. And to be fair, it won't always have 3 less power because it's got experienced for whatever reason.
Yeah. See,
totally solid card. Like, I was super surprised that this wasn't spoiled in spoiler season because, oh my gosh.
Yeah. The only real downside is that like you can't actually use it as entry, really, because like if it's your first friend out, it's gonna be 0.
It'll be 1.
It's
a main character.
That's true. It's always going to be at least 1. But yeah, so it's occupying this weird niche of being a colorless, no requirement friend that isn't particularly good in the early game. But
yeah,
the phase of the game where it's not particularly good ends very rapidly.
Yes.
So yes, definitely a great card.
It's a good card.
4.
Yeah, 4. Like, oh my gosh. And playing it within pre-releases made me realize even more how good it is. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And funnily enough, here we go to pretty much the opposite card. The phase of the game where it's good ends very, very rapidly.
Well, honestly, I've seen people playing this with Bluna, and it's been really annoying.
Really, yeah?
In 2-color Bluna, you just go, bam, this is my second color, drag Luna. I have 3 power of my second color. Cool, confront this. And because most things are like 5, when you're doing such low curve Bluna stuff, you want to have 5 a lot of the time or whatever. It's just like, cool. It keeps it confronts for 2 turns and then becomes irrelevant. And by then you've got to play your really good card in your second color that's got lots of power. And it's just like, yeah, cool, you did your job. And now I can just retire you to home limit whenever I want.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
Like, really, really aggressive stuff likes this, even though it's real temporary.
Yeah. Now, like, on that, you're paying the fact that it's a 0 flip, obviously, which is
cries.
Yeah, and like later on in the game, I guess it's still always a 3 for 2 if you draw it. So, not bad, I guess. Yeah. So
it's still only like a 2 for me though, but like I can see where it will be played, so it's more of a 2.5. Yeah. That thing I've been throwing around.
Yeah, I agree with you on a 2. Okay, now we're done friends.
Hey, 1 card type. Great.
Well, it is the biggest card type, and this
Yeah,
this set was quite short on resources actually. So we're over halfway there.
yeah.
So yeah. And on into events. A changeling can change. Blue song.
I mean, like, did you run extreme sledding? Cool. Have a better one.
Yep.
It flips higher. It costs the same action tokens. Has only one more requirement. There you go. Enjoy.
Yep. I mean, I actually kind of look at these cards and say, the extreme sledding effect's good. I guess it's basically, what's the guy? Well, okay, the challenge effect's okay. If I'm gonna take the third one, I think I would have preferred to have been playing 2 bits probably.
Yeah, I was about to say, and it's kind of got 2 bits attached at the bottom.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good.
Because honestly, for me, put this in the place and read it as a move to friends card. In most cases, and then sometimes you'll be like, "Wait, but this turn, if I play it and I make this cost 0, like you'll cheat a Spitfire out for 2 action tokens and bam." Or wait, I can do this and then I can pay 2 and beat that troublemaker and actually confront 2 problems. Things like that.
Yeah.
But the easiest way to look at it is it's an extreme sledding.
I suppose that's fair to say.
With random upsides you might use.
Yeah. I don't really see it as like the most standout song in the set, really. But
no, but it's totally solid and it feels like something that could get played forever, so I'd give it a 4. Because extreme sledding would be a 4 card if we did this
I suppose.
back in the day.
I'm giving it a 3 myself.
Fair enough.
Go. Alrighty. Deep sneeze. So the most general purpose removal we've seen yet.
Yeah, I was like, it banishes like
anything.
All the card types we have. We have all the card types that can realistically be banished. It banishes.
Mm-hmm.
As a card for the Reanimator deck I keep mentioning, I think I'd run it as like a 2 of, because once again, discarding cards is important because you don't want the things you get from discard into play in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So this, you go, I can get rid of literally anything I need to, and then put the thing in the bin.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is it great? No. It's like a 1 card on its own, even though it's quite kind of nice. I guess 2 really, because it does read get rid of literally everything.
Yeah. Well, literally anything. Literally everything is party of 1.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I pretty much agree with you there. It's like it's so flexible, so very flexible. But I don't see it going into like the discard is a problem pretty much for any deck except the one that you mentioned.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like some of the cards we've had that are like 0 cost and discard stuff. Oh, okay, great. But like this card, like was 3 cost, banish a friend. This card is not better than when you're working on friends, right?
Oh yeah, of course not.
Yeah, so
because it's 1 more requirement and it flips for 1 higher.
Yeah, but I'm going to agree with you with the 2. Sure.
Honestly, if I wasn't going to use it, I'd probably still give it a 2, just because it can get anything.
Right. So, Wrinkle in Time. A very interesting card.
Really nice white control card.
Got that right.
Now that I've... Because it's kind of like, all those weird yellow effects that means they don't flip a card?
Mm-hmm.
You kind of just do that, because it goes away. It's in banish now.
Yep. Their chaos effect will still fire, for what it's worth, but...
Yes. I was like, I read it and went, oh man, this is a really good sort of Tantaban counter. Oh wait, no, it's non-reactive. They'd get their chaos, you'd have no action tokens, and you couldn't play this.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, you're playing white, which means you have a changeling thrown in play anyway. But yeah. But yeah, you're totally correct. This is like a pretty interesting way to how many times. And maybe not all the time, but certainly a lot of times you play, you're doing a troublemaker phase, I'd be like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to win this. And they flip like a freaking 7 or something. It's like,
And then if you could just be like, you didn't flip that card, it's banished.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, I'll lose the face-off then.
And it's not happening again either.
Yeah.
So.
Like, it seems solid. For me, it's a 3 now that I've thought about it. When I first read it, I was like, oh, isn't this cute? I'm glad they've designed a card like this, but no one will play it. But now that I've thought about it, I'm like, oh, you just kind of get rid of their flip. And one action token to be they didn't flip a card is not bad.
Yeah. So I think 3 is a good spot for it. Oh yeah, now for the card that I think we've mentioned more than any other card this whole stream. The card.
Oh my gosh, why is it common? It was an absolute nightmare in the pre-release because everyone had access to it because it's a common. And most people had like 2. And you want to know what else is a common? A friend that when you play it, you take control of another friend until end of turn.
Oh.
So you know what happened a lot? I'll take your friend, throw your friend at your friend. Cool. You'll go.
Yeah, this is...
and that costs 2 action tokens to do.
You're painting me a pretty nice picture here, actually.
Oh, I did it many times. I did it so many times.
Yeah.
I'm a bad human being. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And the other thing, like, you know, I come at this from the control perspective. I look at Sonata. I look at Hive Tyrant, actually, as a pretty good one.
Kind of cute.
Yeah. It's a card that I have a lot of trouble cutting oftentimes when I'm building like a pink-white control deck or something because, yeah, this is really good. So yeah, I have it down as a 4, but I can.
Oh yeah, 4.
All right, I was gonna say I can understand
it's
the
so
5.
Good.
I can understand a 5 if you want to give it that.
I wouldn't say it's format warping. I'd just say it's really, really good.
Yeah.
It's a staple, not a why did they print this card?
Totally. Okay. Yak in an event.
Yeah, so this is Prince Rutherford, except for instead of you swap the flip and the requirement around.
Right.
And then you don't get a friend. Which is okay. I feel like if, obviously, we've seen quite a lot of Frighteny control cards, as we've said quite a few times. If they are decks, this is a perfectly solid card. The fact that it's immediate is real nice, because it can be like, well, I go to confront both, and you go, that's frightened. They go, I confront one. So, yeah, like, immediate removal is always good. The fact it costs 2, good.
Yeah.
Will it see play in every blue deck ever? Don't think so, but it's still a solid 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's as we say, it's, as I said, it's, you know, would you like a Yak with that? Now, I think, you know, you'll have to make the choice when you're running a blue deck between the 2. I would probably choose Rutherford most of the time because I like friends. But
having bodies is good.
Yeah, but as you say, 3 is a good spot for it because, like, you know, that other card is good value, so this card's good value. Great.
Yeah, like, there's no arguing with that, really.
Alrighty. Dive.
I mean, if Heroic Leap didn't exist, I'd love this card. But Heroic Leap exists, so...
What does that card do again?
0, 3 requirement. This ability.
But is it immediate?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Oh, well, what do you know?
Because it's Equestrian Odyssey.
Oh, I see.
Because it's also got the until the end of the face-off wording, like this one.
Oh. Well. I kind of missed that card when I was thinking about it. Yeah.
So yeah, like if Heroic Leap didn't exist, I'd be like, oh, cool, this is really cool. Heroic Leap exists, so okay, it's common Heroic Leap with 1 less requirement, and I think Heroic Leap flips for 4, so
and you discard a bunch of cards for it.
Yeah, so it's just like, all right, I think I might as well run Heroic Leap in the slot I'd think about using this in.
Right.
Did I derail everything you had to say about it because Heroic Leap exists?
I know, yeah.
Oops.
So, call that a 1.
I'll call it a 2 in case someone really wants Heroic Leaps.
I guess, yeah. Alrighty, more songs. Find the purpose in your life.
I like it. Because, like, at worst, it's a main phase bailout that obviously you paid the action token instead of discarding a card.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I keep running 3 bailouts in everything that has orange in it. So I'll probably be running 3 of this and everything that has orange in it.
Yeah. And I see myself maybe putting this in like the orange-white deck, maybe. Like, you know, as you say, bailout's a good card. Those extra flips are pretty good. I can see myself using it for the extra flip from time to time. So yeah.
And like, dude, there's a lot of frighten in this set.
Yep.
Like that's a legit thing.
Yeah.
So the unfrightened will also be useful sometimes.
From time to time, yeah. So yeah, I just got a pretty solid 3.
Yeah, 3.
Alrighty-o. Song to song. Fans are always there.
This card's already playable because of Thorax. You play it and get 6 power in total.
Yep. That's always great. Good to have that resource hate. Obviously, yellow's got a lot of the resource dismissal already, but good, certainly. And
yeah.
I think like using this for its anti-troublemaker effect is something that you'll want to do from time to time as well.
Well, if you're like, oh man, they're really controlling me on one problem, cool, it's mine, double confirm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, cool, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. You know, the interesting thing, I actually just thought about it. There was that Nightmare Moon in Equestrian Odysseys, where it's like main phase, start a troublemaker, like start a face off, and if you lose, dismiss this card. That's kind of an interesting.
Although they would get the points.
Yeah, they'd get the points for it. Yeah. But anyway, personally, I think like I have this card as a 4 actually, because I see like songs are generally really good when you have a like tight deck space and you like need to have a stand for
3 functions.
Yeah, and I think like you know these are all pretty good, and yeah. But you're free to disagree with me on that if you want.
I'd say 3, just because I wouldn't rate it higher than the orange one.
Yeah, all right, that's fair. I think these songs all kind of slot into that 3 area from the looks of things.
It should be like a 3.5 basically.
Yeah. Audio, funny business.
Another card that it's like, oh god, it's common. For pre-release specifically, because your opponent can have multiple copies. Otherwise, it's bad. Like, just run Food Fight. Just run that one that costs 3, is immediate, and dismisses any friend instead.
Yep.
Like, there's a lot better options, but this was common for a reason, so there we go. 1.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that. It's a card that, like, sure, general purpose removal, but you're going to want to be... I don't think I'll reset my timer. Maybe you already talked through it. Anyway, you're going to want to be removing things with power 3 or more. Like, Food Fight was already basically really, really good for pink, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody was going, man, I wish I had a Food Fight that worked for everything. And as you say, right? You know, just use a Rolling Tones if that's a serious issue for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like, just pay 1 extra action token, dude. It's fine.
So, yeah. 1. All right. It's going to work.
I really like it, and I'm also very glad that it got a promo, because I'm going to be using it. Because, dude, main phase white, aka, like, this is Food Fight, but it's also got 2 other functions.
Yeah. It's... I suddenly found it very difficult to put into my decks, because it's like, but this card does that, and also does other stuff, which is great.
Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, it's so good. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So I had this one down.
It's a 4. Like, 4, I think this is the best. For me, I think this is the best song. I can't. The purple one's also really good, though.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty solid 4, I think.
Yeah.
I like in the decks that I would use it for. I probably wouldn't use the second condition particularly often, but the first.
Dude, there'll be one game where that function wins you the game, and you'll be like, I love this card so much.
I'm not gonna say that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's what songs do. It's like, oh man, I don't think I'll use this function very much. You use it once, and you're like super glad it's there.
Yeah. Radio. In the herd.
I mean, like, all the other capabilities to get requirements probably more efficient than this, unfortunately. It's got a few niche uses, and the fact it flips for 5 is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, 2, 1.5?
Yeah,
I think 1.5 is being generous, actually.
Oh, okay. It's a really versatile card. So I actually put it in my experimental Thorax farming deck, just on the assumption that, like, it was a pretty good flip, and you can use it to turn 2 confront. But as kind of you pointed out, like, good decks are gonna have better ways to get their entry, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think a 2 is a good spot for this.
Yeah.
Personally, and I mean, you have it down as a you said 1.5.
1.5.
Yeah. And kind of, I can see where you're coming from with that. Alrighty, so you mentioned the Purple Song.
Oh, man. Like, it has Portal, put 3 power counters on a Troublemaker, and I don't even remember the last one, but I remember it was also still pretty good.
Resource.
Yes, oh my god.
Also Beam Cannon, yeah.
Why did 2 of the songs have resource hate on them? It's just kind of weird.
Well, there is that one resource that, like, you might want to get rid of sometimes.
Yeah, like, this is another solid 4 card. Like, the main phase Portal, oh man, you can't use it to stop them from confronting. Yeah, if you could do this card at immediate, I would just be like, why?
Oh,
why did you do this?
Immediate speed distance 5.
So,
but
like, I like the idea that you can just use this and be like, cool, I'll get this cool entry effect again for myself. Cool.
Yeah, totally agree.
It doesn't even need to do much more than that for you to be willing to just be like 2 action tokens.
Yeah.
But the Troublemaker power counter thing is like, whoa. The fact it's not like, because so many of the cards like this used to be like, and target Troublemaker gets +3 power until the start of your next turn. I was just like, screw it. There, they have the counters. They have it forever. There you go.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, that's what I want. That's what I want if I'm doing this.
Totally. Yeah. This is an easy spot in my purple control decks all the time. Oh, yeah. Call it a 4?
Yeah, it's easily 4.
Okay. Mysterious Disappearance. More immediate speed beam cannon.
Yes.
Although at a nice, with the discard on there too, and at 0 cost. So, like,
the fact that you can have no action tokens and just be like, cool, get rid of that, and they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Actually makes me think this card is usable. But the part that kicked me over the edge to be like, people might actually play this is the chaos. Like, okay, what? Why does this one get chaos and none of the others do?
Good question.
Like, it feels like this is the one they push to be like, maybe people could actually play this card. Ooh.
Yeah, I think so.
If you get what I mean, because it actually has like those feelings of, man, it costs 0. Okay, that's always good.
Yeah.
It's immediate. That's always good, and it has a chaotic. That's always good. Like,
see, I'm wondering, like, which resources there are out there that you, like, you don't. Okay, that banishing them at immediate speed is way better than banishing them just in main phase. Like, sure, I can. Sorry?
One that Octi cheats into play. There you go.
Okay, I can understand that.
Like, there's a few ones that do things on end step, so if you can do it, obviously, during their main phase, you're just like, cool, you didn't even get that.
Yeah, I guess so. But,
so stuff like that.
Anyway.
You know what makes me sad, though? The most important to get rid of resource from this set, protect...
I lost you there for a second.
So Changeling Throne protects itself from this going chaotic.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
And I'm just like, ah, boo.
So I actually have this card down as a 3.
Yeah, I had it as a 3 because, like, initially when I saw all these cards, I was like, oh, they're all going to be so bad for constructed. And then I read this one and went, people might use this.
Yeah,
Might.
maybe. Alrighty. Natural 20.
I mean, it's a yellow effect that costs more because you're in purple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The fact it's immediate is kind of nice because I'm going to win this face-off. Cool. I'll turn my Troublemaker face down, and we'll try again next turn.
Yeah. Now, I spent some time. I actually spent some time looking at the priority window chart because I wasn't sure if you're running purple farming, can you use this to get the points and then have it not go away?
Surely not.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe no, but like, yeah, obviously in if that's not the case, then its only application is as sort of the purple cracking the case, kind of like, you know.
Not the thing is though, it's also.
Well, you know, go on.
It's also got it's got a bit more versatility where it's like, all right, cool. Because it turns it face down, it means if I'm the Troublemaker control deck, I turn it face down, and it's not like you have to replace it. You just put it back down there.
Yeah, well,
and then obviously you can turn a thing face down so you can double confront or whatever, etc.
Yeah.
It's a simple, versatile card. Like,
well, that's actually kind of what I meant. Like, you know, it was not uncommon for Control X to run cracking the case just for like, oh, you're going to beat my Troublemaker. Well, you're not going to get the points for it. And you know, this can be used kind of that's pretty much what I meant. Like, oh, you're going to beat my Troublemaker. Well, no, you're not. But it's gone for now. Okay, good for you. But it's going to come back.
Yeah.
So what do I have here? 3.
Yeah, I'd say 3.
All right. Okay, Pinky's present. Here we are for songs. Can we just by precedent we would say call it a 3 and go on, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we talked in depth, like ridiculously in depth in another stream. But yeah, all the functions are solid. I like the fact that even if they play a dilemma, they have to do the extra 2. Things like that. There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a song and it's not a 4, so it's a 3.
Yeah.
Move on. Radio. Has time given you any insight?
I need to play with it, is the thing.
Uh-huh.
I want to put it at 4. Due to, in part, it having 3 number 4s on it already.
Uh-huh.
I still think this has so much potential, but I just don't know if anyone will build that deck. You know, if setting up the potential for this is worth it.
Right. Well, I'm going to be the guy to say that I don't think it works. I'm going to say 2.
Fair enough.
And
like, I want it to get broken, but I'm not the person to do it.
Yeah. And you know, and you know, we talked about it and said, yeah, this has, I mean, this has applications. We can see it, but I just, I don't think the deck is.
When you're playing against another deck that's good,
yeah.
If you're not playing against a good old Goldfish, setting this up is awkward, difficult, and very, very annoying. You may as well run something like Luna, where you could probably get 2-3 points off it by just doing your game plan. Whereas with this, it requires a lot more setup than I have a Troublemaker and I am controlling.
Yeah. So, did you say 4 or?
I said I want to put it at 4, but it's a 3 for me because I feel like someone might break it.
All right, good enough. So it's a song we called a 3, right? No.
I still don't like it.
You don't think so, eh?
No, I'm still not a fan. As I said, because it feels like you have to discard a card to it, which is like, ugh. So I'm going to stick it at 1 because I'm sure there's better cards for doing things.
Yep. I mean, For my part, I'm just kind of addicted to Equestrian Odyssey Starlight Glimmer, of which this card isn't good at all. And so, yeah, that's partially me, but I kind of agree with you on the one there. It's just there's better ways to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Your business.
Why is this so bad? Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I had it in my pool in the pre-release, and I was like, I'll give it a try. Every time I had it, I didn't want to play it. Because in theory, this card is good when you cause a double face-off. But you know what you don't really have when you cause a double face-off?
AT.
Action tokens. And this thing costs 3. It's like, oh man, but it could be useful in a troublemaker face-off and help me win. You're gonna get like 3 power from it. You may as well just play a friend and do it next turn.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't do enough.
Yeah. This needs to really hit 4 to be good. And having 3 AT to spare for that, as you say, it's tough. It's not usual.
If it costs 2, I'd put it a lot higher in my head, but 3 is just a bit too much.
Totally. So I think this.
But what do you expect? It's a common. It's a 1 common. Like, whatever.
Yeah, got to be some of those in the set. Alrighty-o. The next card that I love the fact that it exists.
Hey, it's Yellow Food Fight, but then I guess it's also kind of not as good as Food Fight because it doesn't die. But oh well, Yellow got like efficient removal.
Finally, yeah. But
like, I'll throw every Food Fight comparison out the window for the sake of efficient yellow removal.
Right. Yeah. Which,
like, I don't care. It's good.
Yeah.
Like it's 4, I'd say good, because if yellow's a color, they'll probably run this.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I was coming up here to say that, like, I really appreciate the fact that this card exists, but I don't know what kind of deck it goes in yet. But yeah, I guess if you just treat it as a yellow Food Fight, which the color needs so badly anyway. I guess so.
Yeah.
And like, you could say, you could say that the whole 3 or more power thing doesn't really matter because, like, back to
when
hand,
you've got immediate, when you've got immediate return to hand, you're going to bounce the biggest thing at the problem.
Yeah, but that's
kind of what you do.
Yeah. Return to hand's most efficient when you play it on stuff with high cost anyway, which is usually going to have high power. So great.
Or when you reset a power countered friend or a resourced friend.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, I'm gonna put this as a 3, honestly. But I can totally see where you're coming from.
I'm 4 just because it feels like a staple yellow card.
Yeah. Now, on the subject of staple yellow cards,
I'm slightly tempted to just give this a 5. It's that simply just good.
Yeah.
And like the extra discard is just like, wow. Are you troublemaker locking me? Cool. I'll just point it at you and see how you like it.
Yep.
And sometimes that'll go really badly for them.
Yeah, I can just imagine my opponent is playing like Pinkie Pie Grump or something, and say, hey, this is like a 35 troublemaker now. Well, just kind of
it's your issue now.
Turn that card around there. Yeah. Hoist by your own petard, friend.
Yeah. It's like, it reads, if it's epic, don't discard a card.
Yeah.
Oh man, now I control this epic troublemaker. Why does that matter?
But yeah, this is another card that, like, thank God it exists, and I put this a 4 right away.
Yeah. I'm going to give it 4. I'm a little tempted to give it 5, but nah. It's not like, oh my gosh. It's just good. It's just real good.
Hey, takes us to the end of the events. So, this is a card that
What is this card?
This has the potential to change a lot. Now, I've tried building troublemaker control decks. I haven't tried building purple yet. And I feel like I really, really, really want to experiment with this card.
Like, the fact it just reads, you have two troublemakers and they just add together.
Hmm. Yeah.
There's so much text for that, but obviously you couldn't word it the way I did on a card.
Yeah.
It's super neat. I like the idea that you can play two troublemakers face down and then play this, and they're like, oh no.
Yep.
No. But my issue is it's a resource, and everyone always has a solution to a resource.
Yeah, resource hate's been getting.
And so it'll get to the point where like they shoot this, and then you instantaneously have to go, what do I keep?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's kind of feel bad, but then again, you only paid like the fact that the thing that makes me think it's playable is that they costed it at 1, which is very clever because if it costed more, it's like, oh, then they just played that card, got rid of it, and I was just like, oh, I wasted so much. But the fact it costs 1, it's like, well, I paid 1, and the only thing that I've lost is a troublemaker from hand that I tried to put with this one.
Totally.
Which isn't the biggest loss.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's usable. I just have no idea what deck wants it, because obviously if your troublemaker's epic, it gets rid of everything else anyway.
Yeah. The other kind of thing that's kind of weird that just occurred to me actually is that you could use this, and this is really niche, but you could use this to be able to retire a troublemaker to redeem and not like yield the
lose your
problem,
troublemakers there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird and strange, but I don't think that's actually going to happen at all.
It's kind of cute.
Yeah. Anyway, I really want to try this card out, so I'm giving it a 3 for now.
Yeah, mine's also a 3, just because I know it has a lot of testing to be done on if it's actually nice. I hope it doesn't turn out to be bad, because it's a really interesting card.
Mm-hmm. Radio. Puckball Championship. 2 AT for a point, always.
Yeah, I mean, in Limited, this card was just, like, gross.
Mm-hmm.
In Constructed, I am not 100% sure.
Always the choice with T-Rex, basically.
Yeah, like, T-Rex is so efficient that paying 2 for this card is like, oh, but dude, why can't it just be, like, 1 to confront, and then I'd play it? No, it's, yeah... I'm not sure, but I feel like it could get played, but I doubt it.
Right.
So 2.
2. Yeah, I think the value's there. The choice is going to come down to this and T-Rex, and I don't think this is better than T-Rex. So I have it down as like a somewhat optimistic 3.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, 2. Oh boy. The paper that I've been writing your ratings on is just getting full of numbers here, and it's we're almost there. I tell you, we're almost there. Okay, counting the con voting. Yellow. I mean, if we're gonna start comparing with dilemmas that already exist, this is definitely not better than Industrial Revolution.
No, but it's... You see, this game doesn't have a sideboard. This is a real nice sideboard card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If it existed, because I'm like, you're just like, oh no, they've locked me out with 2 troublemakers. You store up like, what, 8 action tokens over 2 4 action token turns, go, play this, confront that, double face off. And they're like, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But without that, just having this in your deck isn't great.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. The other thing that's kind of interesting to me is that it is a 2 bonus point problem, funnily enough. So you could actually, I like maybe if you have 2 bonus points if you have 2 AT to spare and you're already confronting both problems, I'm just gonna play this so now the double face offs are 2 points to me.
Yeah, like.
But yeah,
I kind of wish they. I kind of think that they could have given it 1 bonus and just made it less to confront, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that was too good. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, if you do that, you're basically turning it into like a turning point, kind of, that you don't have to discard a card for. Well, not really. No, you're turning it into like a repulsor blast, basically.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. So yeah, I've discarded it 2.
Yeah, 2. It would be much higher if sideboards existed.
Mm-hmm, totally. Alrighty. Heart of the Sea. So I've said already what I think I'm going to do with white. Defeat my 0-point troublemakers forever. And discard's part of it.
Yeah. Like, honestly, it's totally it's fine. Like, I don't know how insanely playable it is, but I think it's definitely playable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a tough call though.
Yeah. Like it's the kind of card that I would. I think it's going to make the cut for my purple white deck probably, and then you have some kind of resource resurrection as well, which would be the greatest thing. So I have it done as a 4 personally.
I have it as 3 because I know it's going to be playable in something, but I'm just not sure how playable.
Yeah.
Or I feel like it's going to be playable in something. I'm just not sure how playable.
Right. I'm almost on to like the last pages of my ratings that I have written down here. So, Trixie's Equestrian Apology Tour. A card that was kind of confusing when I first saw it and hasn't gotten much better since then. I just kind of not really seeing it.
It's for limited 1.
Yep, I honestly kind of agree with you there. It's
because there's better versions of this trigger in the set with like there's a core and stuff. So it's just like whatever.
Yep.
Moving on.
1. Alrighty. Thunderbolt's Runway. This is a card that kind of grew on me a little bit when, like, you kind of realize, like, we've said, due to a variety of reasons, resource removal is going to be bigger in this set. Those reasons basically being that yellow is going to be a thing again and Changing Throne exists. And so I wouldn't expect this card to get all the way to 5 most of the time, but if it gets to 3, that's still pretty good.
You see, even in limited, this was bad.
Is it really? Yeah.
My opponent played it really early on, and they had one okay turn when it blew up, and then everything went home and it was pointless again. And it was like, whoa, okay. It just doesn't. It doesn't do enough when it goes off. Honestly, because 5 turns for 5 power is like slow.
Yeah, I can kind of see it. Like it's kind of like saying you pay 1 to say, okay, 3 turns from now I'm going to play a close air support, but we all know that. And I suppose that I can kind of see how your opponent being aware of that might be a problem.
Yeah, like it's just. Unfortunately, no offense to whoever it is designed it, I keep forgetting who it was. It's just 1. It's a really cool design, really fun card, but it's just not very powerful.
Yeah,
I'm not going to try and butter it up, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that one. Rightio, we're on to Troublemakers.
Hey, Troublemakers, almost out.
Almost out. So, confession time on this card. When I first saw this card, I didn't think it was particularly good.
What?
Yeah, I had it down as like a 1. As my first impression, I thought, 4 power is just really not that much. It's not going to be a big deal for the opponent. And it took a lot of convincing and arm twisting from people who I know well for this card to finally start growing on me. And as I started to see the purple white and sort of those kind of decks emerge, okay, I'm convinced now. Okay.
So this card, turn 1, well, turn 2, I guess, means that you have 3 action tokens and a Troublemaker at both problems. That in itself is just stupid. You can go down the rabbit hole of how you make this get even worse and worse and worse, but just that on its own, being able to say that about it, it just makes it real good.
Totally. And it's the kind of card, where I really appreciate seeing this card come back into my hand after all these white effects that I've been going on about the whole stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the walls fall down, the walls come back up.
Yes.
So yeah. one of the most dramatic turnarounds for this card. First saw it to 1, now it's a 4.
Yeah, I'd say 4 or 3. I don't know. I think 4.
4. Righty-o. Once again, too bad Bugle left so early. Another really solid troublemaker, I think, for that ability to be at a nice power position on 6, and also like kind of be the harsh judge that I want in my deck, kind of. So, yeah.
It's weird to me because it's just like, in part for me, it feels like you just have to name event because otherwise they'll just get rid of it for 1 action token, right?
Kind of, yeah.
So it's, yeah. I'm not really sure. It had bonus 0, but oh my god, why did they do? But
yeah, like cracking the case is just one card though. Like if you name resource to get rid of,
as well as another card that costs 1 action token and dismisses it.
Yeah,
card
that
costs 2 action tokens and turns it face down.
Okay, good point.
Like there's a lot of troublemaker hate cards that don't cost a lot, so it feels like you'd need to name event or it would just get shot.
Yeah.
In summary, which is just like, ooh. Also, one of the changelings aren't pulling their weight in this card because it's the main 6 and Spike as changelings, and it's only got 6 power. Lazy Spike changeling.
Well, I mean, if you want to go back to Defenders of Equestria, which was, I believe, Changeling Draconicus Unicorn and 2 power, there seems to be a theme in these groups of French cards of
people just don't pull their weight.
Apparently, too many cook spoiled broth. So yeah, I mean, I personally have this card down as a 4. I'll have no problem running.
I have it as a 3 just because, as like the interaction I've said, where it just feels like you need to, depending on matchup, you have to name a certain card type, or they'll use that card type to just get rid of it anyway.
Yep.
And you won't even ever get to use it as a troublemaker.
Yeah, I can understand that. Oh yo, the Cabal.
Honestly, this guy seems really good for the sort of like the troublemaker control decks that don't want to use epics. Because this dude has 8 power. You just go, oh hey, so you have 5 friends, cool. I have 4 friends. It's got 8 power.
8 power,
and it's just like
it becomes the most powerful, like straight up troublemaker in the game.
Yeah, like
which
8 is not something to be trifled with.
Yeah, which is so weird from a flavor perspective that this guy can beat Nightmare Moon, so long as you guys have more friends than he does.
As long as you back him into a corner with a group of people, he'll deck you. He's James Bond, except evil, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, and having that at 0 points too, it's just I love that so much.
Yeah, I wish he had chaotic as well. If your opponent controls more friends, so he flips for 8, like Twittermites did. But oh well.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, I'd say it's a perfectly solid card for all these sort of non-epic troublemaker controller decks we'll probably see. So I'll say 4. Yeah, I'll say 4.
I'm gonna say 3 simply because like we're gonna get to a lot of good troublemakers basically.
Yeah, there's too many in this set.
Yeah, it's that there's gonna be so many choices to make. So
yeah.
Okay. Speaking of.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's so nice. I love the idea that can be like, I've got ready for him. Cool, I'll bounce that, and then if you've got rarity, you just sort of banish another thing. They're like, I just lost 2 of my friends for facing this. How?
Yep. And once again, here we are at 0 points. Can I just bring this back from either the discard pile or
honestly, 0 points on troublemakers is what made them like able to be played.
Yeah.
So vigorously. Yeah, this is a 4, and I'm guessing it's a 3 for you because it'll sit in the same spot as Cabaleron or something.
Yeah, basically, I'm putting it at the same level as Cabaleron, but I can totally understand your viewpoint. Now, to the subject.
I'm still not sure about this card.
Somewhat more controversial troublemakers. Yeah, it's so strange. So strange. Like,
you know what I kind of like with her, but then again, I could say this about like any other villain or anything. If you cheat it in with things like Quibble, where you don't actually turn it over, you can have a turn of doing Troublemaker control against your opponent to make it so they don't beat it, and then just get 2 points. And be like, there you go, I got 2 points. Yeah. And like that's what I kind of like about it. But obviously, there's a few other options for it. But I think this is the only one that when it lands, it has like no downsides. So it's not like Nightmare Moon where you'd have to start discarding cards, etc. Although Nightmare Moon would give 3 points or whatever.
Or
like
Nightmare Star, where you think, oh wait, I have a bunch of stuff that I want to exhaust in this deck.
Yeah, like this when you cheat it is just vanilla, and you could probably just beat it really easily.
Yeah. Right.
So the fact that you can flip it and it's good, and you can cheat it out and just get 2 points, makes me go, I think this is playable. I think this is a solid 4 for all the weird sort of decks that might be appearing now with Rarity, Twilight, and all the others.
Really, yeah. I have this down as a 2, actually. I just
okay.
It's. I feel like I wouldn't be confident putting into a deck that it was never going to screw me over, or at least never be in a position where, like, man, this is going to screw me over if I play this. So, but you said 4?
Yeah. Just because you always get to react to it first as well.
Yeah.
Oh no, my stuff got sent home. I'll pay action tokens.
Yeah, I guess so. Good point. This has been one of the longest strings of 4 I've written down for you. And I imagine it's going to keep going. So, here we go. 0-point Troublemaker that you don't even have to try to bring back.
I honestly would put this at 3 because there's so much good Troublemaker recursion in this set on its own that you may as well run one with a different upside.
Yeah, yes, that's a fair point. Like, you know, for all the Troublemakers
Like,
we've been talking about already.
You've got Discord, you've got Heart of the Sea. Like, if you're running white, you get a Troublemaker back. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I actually have this done down on a 2, actually.
I only say 3 because I'd probably use it in my Party of 1 deck. Because I don't have to put any effort into having it just be there, and always having a Troublemaker that you then, having a Troublemaker out after you Party of 1 is just like, cool, there you go. You can't double face off.
Yeah.
So it's one of those ones where because it just sort of stays forever, I may as well run it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. On my part, it's just kind of as we say, this card's real good, but like it kind of gets outshone because the Troublemakers in this set are so great.
Unfortunately for it, yeah.
Alrighty, Troublemaker.
I still don't think he's that great. I keep going over him, and I'm just like, and I'm just like, nah. I don't think anyone's going to use it. It reads kind of well, but when I thought about it, I was like, if your opponent is running farming, which is this kind of looks like it's designed to counter, it's like, they can't play Troublemakers there. But you know what they did? They played a Troublemaker while it was face down.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, cool, now it's gone to your, it's gone to your Nightmare Star or whatever. Great.
Yeah, it has to compare with Aspie, obviously. That's the card.
Which is just like, I don't care that you play the Troublemaker there. It's not turning over.
Yep. And, true, the whole main character thing, but, like, control decks are going to be running ways to deal with that. You're going to be running your cardboard box. You're going to be running your Sakura or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're... I have this down as a 2.
I think 1 even. I think there's older Troublemakers that are just better than him.
Wow, wait, okay.
Like Arismaspe and stuff, yeah.
All right, sure. Even a Troublemaker in this set.
If he had 5, I would have put him at 2 because then he's got the same body as Arismaspe.
I guess so, yeah.
But the 4 is what makes me just go, ugh, why?
Alrighty. On to problems. We're getting there, friend.
Problems.
So, this problem needs to exist for this set to be viable, basically.
I put it at 5.
Yep. No.
It's so ridiculous.
Nope.
It's just like, okay, cool. I easily confront this for aggro, lol.
Yep.
Oh hey, I exhaust Fluttershy, lol. Like, yes, this is a card so many decks wanted to just be like, I am stupidly aggressive, bonk, done.
Mhm.
I confront it.
Yeah, like sorry, this is the problem that I was looking as these spoilers got revealed. Like, okay, all these mains need to confront problems, but there just isn't a problem for them. And it's like, oh, this problem. Well, there you go.
I was like, for a while, I was like, oh, I guess there's under lock and tree, and then this got spelled. I was like, oh, there we go.
Yep, this is what we're gonna have to do. Well,
yeah, it's real nice.
Yeah, 5/5, good stuff.
Like, if you can't figure out why it's really good, ask someone.
Maybe you've been playing control decks for too long.
I want big numbers on my opponent's side. Okay.
Yay. 8-card pileup.
I mean, this is like the multicolored version of the blending in, if I remember it correctly. It had 2 bonus, and you like named a color, and only your friends of that color contributed.
Yeah.
And then this is a version of it that you get to do any colors with, and nobody really ran blending in anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean,
one.
I feel like what's happening is we're seeing like 2 bonus getting a significant cost increase. Which, yeah. Well, I mean, but you know, that's great to do that, but those old problems with 2 bonus haven't gone away. So.
But you don't run them anymore because you don't want to have your second color.
I guess, yeah. But even so, I totally agree with you on the 1.
Yeah, like.
Okay. Friendship overboard. So, like, similarly here, this is kind of coming into the same thing, right? 2 bonus, and
sort of.
We have a symmetrical confront requirement for that reason, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
I'm like, this isn't great. I get its design though. You confront, exhaust an opponent's thing, and then you do the face off, and you've got a better chance of winning, and it's going to be 2 points. Yeah, but
yeah,
I don't think it's going to work out like that very often. Is the issue?
Well, here we are, and you know, this is Golden Harvest. This is Apple Bloom. This is the same effect, which has been done before and didn't work, or at least wasn't done.
Yeah,
and.
Nobody's touched it still, so it's like, all right.
I'm marking down a 1 for you. Is that okay?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, and I agree with you on that one. Okay, grand opening, and here we are again with. Now this time, this one is 6 for me, 8 for the opponent. Right? This one is like Trading Traditions level of apparently goodness. And yeah, I mean, I guess I like resources. I don't know.
I mean, like, 6 for you, 8 for them isn't bad.
It's true.
That's not the worst thing. The 4 white's kind of awkward, but it's because you're getting a very white effect when you confront it. If you want a Heart of the Sea forever, making it so this is the problem on the other side of your Troublemaker is just hilarious. So I'd say it's like 3 because white control decks will be using resources in some way.
Yeah, I see myself putting this into my white control deck. Like, not as a 2 of, probably as a 1 of, but I do like the Heart of the Sea forever. So 2.
I think I'll give it 3. I think it has a bit more potential
all right.
than you seem to be giving it.
Yeah, well, anyway. Okay, yeah. This is the card that I was thinking of, sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Right. This one requires 7 for us and 5 for the opponent.
It's bad.
Yep.
It's real bad. People were running it in the pre-release, and I won games because they were running it. Because, oh hey, 5 on your side, cool. You took your entire turn to get 7. I confronted both.
Yep. Yeah, this is the kind of
card... It's just like... Oh.
Yeah. I mean, this is the kind of card that would be getting to 0 if we had it. Because, yeah, this... You want your opponent to win?
Like, oh man, you get a Pegasus token? Great, you still have to invest way too much into it.
Yep. This is the Pinkie Pie main in a problem. In fact, it's probably even worse than that.
Dude, Pinkie Pie main won't just straight out lose you a game. This straight out loses you a game because it's 7-5.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, moving on. I don't think there's any question of what our ratings are on that one. Infiltrating the hive, a problem that I still find really conflicting.
I still have no idea where to put it for constructed because of trading traditions.
Yeah.
If trading traditions didn't exist, it'd be 5.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
If, as it does, I kind of want to put it at 3, but even then I'm like, no, because... Yeah, I think I'll stick with 3, just because it is versatile, obviously. If you're running 3 colors, this lets you do all 3 colors, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. Still not perfect though, is it?
Yeah, I have it down at 3 just because I know there are going to be decks that need this, that will use this because they want to discard cards, right? And that's why they're not doing trading traditions, or they're running in some local meta where everybody has snips and snails, and I would appreciate to be able to get my colors out on turn 1. But yeah, I find it difficult to see this card appearing much in like tier 1, and for that reason, it's a 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Seeking the Scepter.
It's pretty neat.
Interesting. Yeah. Did you have much experience with this one in your pre-release? I'm actually curious to know.
Yes. It prevented my opponent from being able to confront it with Fluttershy, which was relevant.
Uh-huh.
As I was running Rarity, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was Rarity. And so my opponent running Fluttershy is like, oh man, I have enough power here. And then I do this and this. And it's like, Fluttershy can't do that because main characters, and they're like, oh yeah. So I was like, it's kind of cool, but for constructed, it feels a bit weird.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like, to
honestly, like, I think it'll be good because it's 8 on both sides, 1 bonus. Like, that's not bad for control. That's never going to be terrible for control.
I guess, yeah.
But, like, I mean, maybe pink-white. My pink-white party of one, when I make it so they always seem to only have their main, something like this might be good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Against epics, where all they do is fight troublemakers with their main, could also be good. Like, but it's like,
I find myself kind of in the same place as we were talking about, as I gave the example of Destiny Drain at the start. Like, sure, there are very specific metagames where this is great, but those metagames are very specific. And
yes.
Yeah. So.
But I'm glad it exists. It's an effect I kind of think should have been on a problem for a while now.
I guess so. So anyway, I've got this down at 2.
Yeah, 2. It's just like niche.
Alrighty, Thrash the Throne. So, let me see
6
here.
on your side, 5 on theirs.
6 on 5, yes. And is the effect as good as Trading Traditions? No.
Also, I think it's a really, really big flavor fail. Why is you hitting the Changeling Throne making a Troublemaker more powerful? It made Chrissy weaker.
Yeah, point made, I guess. So,
2.
2. Yeah.
I still feel like control decks like don't mind the effect, but we have like, what was it, the Marks in Time one where you buffed your Troublemaker equal to like friends or something random like that?
Hysterical Recreation. That one.
Yeah, like, I don't remember exactly what it does, but that just feels better than this. So
yeah.
Guess we'll see.
It's kind of like Pinkie Pie and Twilight Sparkle from earlier, where you think to yourself, okay, this stays in play. Maybe I can get some value from it over time. But like, there's also that possibility where you're playing against an aggro deck. And it's like, okay,
Just confront both.
Yeah, like they've just like doubled or something. It's like, okay, if I don't flip a big problem, I'm gonna lose. Crap, I just lost.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
They Fluttershy's.
I mean, this card reads, when Thorax confronts this, move your Flutter Holly.
Oh.
And that's kind of it. Otherwise, it's not great, honestly, because I guess Yellow could have big friends, but not all. It's not going to happen that frequently unless you're building the Thorax giant friend deck that obviously is going to come up because of him. So I'd say it's a 3 just because Thorax exists, and you're obviously going to be running your mini Thoraxes, and you'll pay 1 or 2 action tokens to confront this, and then move your other giant thing to the other problem and confront it.
Yep.
And then you're like, ta-da, I did it, double face-off.
That works, yeah. Somehow I missed this card when I was doing my ratings, but yeah, I pretty much agree with you on that. It's like, Yellow will do it. I don't know about, Yellow Thorax likes it in that particular style. I don't think anyone else really does.
Not insanely. Eight's awkward for aggro.
8's awkward, yeah. Oh, good 3.
Yeah.
Okay, and last problem.
I would love this problem so much if its bonus was 1.
Yeah. I mean, it's
because it's real good. Like
it is, yeah.
I played it in the pre-release, and it's real good. But the bonus 2 is not what you want a lot of the time. Because I guess you could play it in pink X aggro-y type stuff and be like, cool, I drew a card, and it's only 6 to confront. But the clear place you kind of want a card like this is just getting incidental value when you lock your opponent out the game or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh hey card, oh hey card, oh hey card.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I think of it. If this problem was the exact same stats and said when this problem enters play, draw a card. That's essentially the equivalent.
Bonus 0/1.
Well, yeah, that's essentially the equivalent of what it would be if you ran in an aggro deck, right? You confront it once and you doubled and you drew your card. Would that card be good enough? I don't know. I feel like that would be good enough to run in a pink aggro deck.
Maybe, yeah.
No.
6 is a weird number. 5 is like the convenient, easy spot, isn't it?
Yeah.
6 is kind of like, ooh, most of the time. So I still think it's good.
Yeah.
But it's not like, if it was bonus 1, I'd be giving it a 4.
Right.
But as it's bonus 2, it's a 3 because I still think just the card text is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very obviously powerful because cards are always good.
Yeah. Personally, I think it's 4. I think
Okay, fair enough.
I think it's a good card for pink aggro. Alrighty, ultra rares. We're getting there. Last major.
Ultra rares at the
cards.
end. Okay.
So,
I guess we've mentioned him at least like 80 times this entire stream,
Mm-hmm.
so he might just be 5.
Hashtag make yellow great again.
Yeah, so this card reads, if you're doing the yellow's game plan, I have infinite power.
Yeah, I have nothing really to say. It's a 5.
Yeah.
Get it.
There's a reason why everyone at the pre-release I went to was like, oh, does anyone pull the Thorax? Oh, does anyone pull the Thorax?
Yep.
Luckily I have, so let's build this deck.
Yep. That's pretty much the way of it. And I mean, that's like what Limited is going to look like in this set, probably.
Unfortunately, it was in my prize packs, so I didn't get to use it in Limited. If I got to use them in Limited, oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll have a similar feel as Bluna in Limited, where it's just like, oh, hey, you win now. Great.
I mean, I feel you for it. I appreciate it. Maybe you'll share some prize packs with me at the end of the thing. Yeah. Okay. Fantasy Spectopia. We covered this card a little bit when it was revealed, and essentially my opinions haven't really changed. It's a card that looks amazing, but isn't actually all
I feel
that
like
great.
it's 2. It reads really well. It has potential for someone to use it, but it's a bit niche.
Yeah.
Too.
I agree with you too right away. Okay. The inevitable ultra rare.
Oh my gosh. So you know the Buckball team? This is the Blues version of it. Just stays at home and you get +3 power.
Pretty much, yeah.
Unfortunately, it only flips for 3, whereas Buckball team basically flips for 6. But you know. And this one, it's every face-off rather than you have to exhaust it for specific ones, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a card actually that I think is a shoe-in for blue control, funnily enough. Because if you've got if you got Trollmakers in play, hey, your Trollmakers have +3 power. Great.
This card is pay 3, play a card that's better than the main from this set.
Yeah.
Oh man, +2 to cards. So +2 to every face-off, basically. Cool, this is +3 to every face-off. There you go.
Yeah. So, like
as we said, if you play 2 or 3, it's just am I winning now? Yeah, I'm winning now.
Yeah. So really, the only reason I don't have this down as a 4 is I don't think it's that there's a deck to support it. But
not right now, but
yeah.
I think it'll get made.
Yeah. So
I'm saying 4 because I know the deck's going to get made.
Sure. I mean, it's I said I'm not giving it a 4. I'm giving it a 3. Sure. Okay. The captain.
5.
5. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this card! I need a playset already. Ow. My dream scenario is this card is you pay 5, just retire loads of stuff. All right, cool. I have limestone. Cool, that has no ability. What are you gonna do? It's just like cool. You not only have nothing, but it now does nothing. Like
that's a good point. Yeah. Wow. But yeah, this kind of a reset. I feel like this is the card that Orange didn't even know it wanted, but
and now it has it. It's like yes, I want more of this.
Yeah.
Somehow. The fact that it's an enters play trigger, it's like I'll portal it. On your turn. All right, cool. I just overextended my entire hand to do this, and now I have nothing.
Yeah.
Like, yes. The fact that you can make this kind of immediate. Okay.
And it's got Diligent, because that's going to be important often, right?
Well, I think the idea is if you play it and keep it, you then get continuous value off it as it gets bigger.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what could they add to it to make it feel right to keep the card? Oh, it has Diligent 1, so it's going to be a 6 power friend, and then a...
Sure. Have you seen the Royal Rare art, by the way? I actually think it's quite nice.
Yes, it's very nice art. It's where she's like, rah, I'm pointing.
Okay. Discord.
Redeem.
Oh, Redeem, indeed.
Also, worst thing about Redeem, there is literally no card with Redeem's rules text on it.
Yep, that's true.
Which is just the stupidest thing ever.
Gotta have the manual to hand.
That's one of the dumbest things with Redeem. The second thing that's dumb with Redeem is why didn't we just get good cards? Why did we have to get cards that are kind of good, but you gotta retire? Because that effect, like I went into detail why that effect is strong, but it's on a 7 for 4, and you have to run other discards and retire them to get it for 4 for 4.
Yep. Totally. It's like the kind of card that, like, I can see if Thorax absolutely dominates the meta, then okay, maybe people will
shoot all the crypto tokens.
But besides that, no.
Yeah, like this card gets a 3 just because Thorax is probably good.
Honestly, Thorax is just bumping him
or
1 to 2 for me. Yeah.
Or 2, like I don't even. Yeah.
Such a shame.
Yeah, Redeem had potential, and it didn't really fulfill it.
Speaking of,
all right, here it is. Literally the best reanimator target in the set.
Oh, I mean, I can't argue
because this card, it doesn't have a specific when you play it trigger, but if you reanimate it, you then can at the end of turn play a thing, and you're just like, yeah, cool.
So
that's it. You're not going to play it. You're not playing it for 5 action tokens by retiring a Starlight. You're not playing it for 8 action tokens. Seriously.
Yeah. It's a start of turn actually. But yeah, yeah. I mean, my opinion on it hasn't really been changed by Redeem at all. It's like, sure, it's a good value card, but you have to work to get it out, and really, like, why are you playing it? I just,
unless you're cheating it.
yeah, I guess, right?
Like, you kind of just have to be cheating this card into play, otherwise, why? Or you're running Penny Lane, but that's Nightmare format. We won't get into that.
Oh boy, oh boy. Maybe this is why they banned Penny.
No, she was already degenerate.
She was, yeah. But can you imagine a format where these cards?
What about a Penny Lane that's got redeemed? No.
all of the cards that have been banned will get a redeem card at some point in the future. Wouldn't that be nice?
That'd be cute, actually. So I put this at 2 because all I can see it being played in is specifically that orange-white reanimator I'm going to be working on.
Yep, I totally agree. And rounding out our redeem trio.
This is the worst one and it actually gets 1.
Yeah, I kind of totally agree with you there. I just don't. I don't see why. I don't see what it's for.
Oh man, when I reanimate it, I get a 3-power friend that makes it hard to move away from. I love that. Question mark.
Yeah. I don't even really see the flavor, to be honest. I mean, kinda, but.
Because it's from the episode, isn't it? From the finale.
Yeah.
She distracts the changelings and she gets hoarded by them because she ties one to her with scarves and tells everyone to run.
Right.
I get the flavor, but it's just like doesn't make it a good card.
No.
She should have had 7 power. Then maybe you'd think about playing it.
7 power Chelsea. That would make some people happy. Yeah. But yeah.
To be fair, do we even have a 7-power friend? We need one of those.
We have.
Although if we do get it, it instantly becomes probably the best reanimator target because, dude, 7 power for 3 or 4 action tokens.
So we have ultra rare Discord from Absolute Discord, the pink one. He's 7.
Yeah, but he has minus power when he's in play. So
yes,
while in play,
it's that's the closest that we've come.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Flipping from a 1 to a better card. I think yellow appreciates point acceleration.
Oh heck yeah! This is the weird yellow-white control deck we've had. This is also another finisher apart from Kratos. It's also just good in general. I kind of like the idea of orange-yellow using this because obviously orange is really good at unfrightening things for cheap. So even this is at home, you can be like 1 action token, unfrighten it, 1 action token, move it, get the point.
Yep.
And it's just like, okay.
Yeah, totally.
Like, that seems good, right? So for me, I actually put it at a 5 because I have a lot of faith in how this getting put in like all sorts of random stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's
to just get bonus points. It's kind of crazy.
It's a repeatable 2 AT per point, right? Like if you assume that you confront, it frightens next turn, you have to rally it. That's 2 AT. Confront again, you get another point. In that sense, it's 2 AT for a point. Which when you can repeat that over and over again, that's excellent value.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, I have it down as a 5 as well. This is one of those just what the doctor ordered cards for yellow.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Okay. Sunset Festival.
Random.
Yeah.
I like the idea that this in decks that are very low on friend count, so like blue epics, you're like, cool, give me a Thunder Lane, and they're like, okay.
Yeah. Like it's the kind of card where you can think to yourself, okay, my opponent is running good cards, so I'll just take a good card from them, right? But there's a reasonable chance that you'll get a card that sucks for you and is good for them. Or at least that would have been good for them, but this is not really good in my deck. Yeah.
Honestly, the reason why I think this is playable is because it only costs 2.
Mhm.
And in lots of cases, you'll pay 2 and get at least 2 power. And if all else fails, you just play the 2 for 2.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess.
But sometimes you get Thunder Lane, you get you hit their Applejack and go, die, I didn't want that to enter.
Yeah.
Like it just feels like simple, pretty good value most of the time.
Yeah, I don't know. From an
I don't know
ultra rare.
what deck you. Yeah, for an ultra rare, it seems a bit meh. I feel like it should have been a super, but I still think it's a good card. I don't think it's bad, but I don't know what deck it's running, so it only goes to 2.
Yeah, I personally have it as a 1 for that reason. I just don't. I just don't see it being in a thing at all. The set. So, Epic Project. Second last card, and the last one we really need to talk about.
So many hoops.
Yep.
So many hoops.
Yeah. Like this is the kind of card where like, if I got a point from it, I would celebrate because I actually got a point from it.
Yeah. If it was like the next card and it was at the start of your turn, banish.
Mm-hmm.
I'd run it. I'd run it as a 2-of in random stuff, because making your opponent's discard, well as yourself, I guess, isn't bad, and being able to be like, oh hey, I have all 4 of these cards at the start of a turn and getting a point also isn't bad. The fact it's specifically problem face-off is just like, so I have to sit, make a grindy board state, set this up, do a problem face-off, and get like 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
And then to get another point, I have to do another problem face-off and win it again.
Yeah, it's just so much. It's just so much. And meanwhile, your opponent's like, oh, he's kind of getting close to maybe getting that point. Maybe now I'll get rid of that resource.
Yeah, it's just
So yeah,
it's just feel bad because it's too hard with the condition being problem face-offs.
Totally. 1 or maybe 2.
Yeah, 2 because the discard effect isn't terrible.
I guess so. Yeah. Okay. You know what the next card is. The last card is.
Is it photo finish?
Close enough, right? No. Can I give this a 6? Can I give this a 7?
No.
Can I give this
No.
an 8?
No. You should give it a 4 because photo finish makes this card not as good as you want it to be.
I mean,
It's my issue with it. I'm just like, because as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh man, this should go to the top. This is the best card of the set. Blah blah blah. I was like, no, it's not. Photo finish exists. Those lines of text, yeah, they're not bad, but like, is it worth paying 2 action tokens to get the point instead of just getting a point and being able to focus on disrupting your opponent? And like, I've just sort of sat there and mulled on it for so long now. I'm like, I don't even know anymore. I don't want it to be bad because look at it, it's amazing. But like, photo finish, man, just photo finish.
I mean, it's
blackmail. Like those cards are so good.
It's true, right? And I don't know. I've been in situations where like you're sitting on like 13 or 14 or something, and you're in this situation where like the blue opponent has just now gotten it going, right? It's just now broken through. It's like, okay, I'm probably not going to be able to stop them again. And so now it's like, okay, well, whatever. In 2 turns, I'm going to win. So, you do whatever you want to do, right?
I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
I still don't think it'll replace photo finish. I just think it'll go alongside them.
Yeah.
Which is why I wouldn't rate it at 6 or anything, and it's why it wouldn't even be like 5 because it's not format defining. It's just adding to things that were already there.
I don't know. I feel like this card is going to be in a lot of decks.
Yeah, like I'm not saying that, but then a lot of stuff we've given 4 is going to be in a lot of decks.
Well,
it's just not Thorax, and it's not, stuff that's changed how people play the game around it. This is just going to go in all those decks that did the thing and then be their out if it's like, oh man, you recovered, I'll just pay 2. Like, it feels more like an answer to a problem that those decks had than oh my gosh, now everything's broken. And, it's still a resource, so you can just kill it.
I guess. I don't know. I'm going to stick to 5 on it.
I think I've overthought the card
possibly. But if you want me to write down a 4, I'll write down a 4.
Yeah, it's a 4.
All right. I mean, you're not going to be wrong for sure. It's going to be in Dex. And, I think we can argue over, because, yeah, I mean, in a sense, you're right. The basic structure of, a white control deck isn't going to change for this card. And so, for that reason, we can argue over what exactly constitutes a 5 for that deck anyway. So, yeah. But, in any event, that brings us to the end. It is here.
Oh my gosh.
And that only took, well, we were going up on 4 hours, actually. But...
yeah, okay. Well...
thank you. Oh, we actually picked up a few viewers there. Thanks, everybody, for sticking around. I understand that was a bit of a... well, it was an OCR review stream. You guys knew what you were getting into.
It was long. It was real long.
But yeah, there we are. That's Defenders of Equestria. We thank you all for coming with us. As for the future of Meticulous talks, I certainly hope that we can keep bringing content to you guys. Over the course of the next couple of weeks, we're probably going to be, well, more informally chatting about the way the game's going, or upcoming tournaments, or what kind of decks we're liking, or whatever. But yeah,
I'm just gonna be like, oh, I can just talk about testing Thorax.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I actually have it, and I'll be playing, doing all that.
Yeah. And then, of course, once, fingers crossed, in the near future, when some other set comes out, we'll go back to this stream, talk about how we got things right, how we got things wrong. There were a few cards, as I'm looking down at my list here, that we gave ratings that were 2 or more, even 3 or more points apart from each other. So there's definitely going to be discussions had about some of them.
You're wrong about Lyra. It's really bad.
Highly possible that I might be.
Shakes fist.
So
anyway, I am rather hungry.
Yep. Honestly, yeah, lunch was a little time ago for me too. So I think once again, thank you all for showing up and paying attention. And see you all in a couple of weeks. I have been Chris Gorge.
See ya. And I've been solving problems. See you around.
Have a great day.